A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a story of a cross-country bus and the safety of a nation that rode in it. We call it Classified Secret. So now, starring Parley Bear, here is tonight's suspense play, Classified Secret.
Nice day.
Yes.
Kid sure knows getting on to Christmas. Look at him.
I've been watching them.
Yeah. Kind of glad, though, I haven't got any.
Oh?
Well, you know, world conditions, things the way they are. Who wants to bring a kid into it?
I suppose so. Do you have a match?
Oh, sure. Here you are.
Thanks. Have you got it? What's the matter?
Oh, you don't look the type. I almost hoped you weren't.
Have you got it?
With me? No. But I'll take you to where it is.
All right. The money's in 10s, 20s, and 50s.
In the sack with the groceries?
Yes, I thought it would be safer that way.
Yeah, I guess so. How much?
10,000.
10.
Well, that's what you agreed to.
Mm-mm. I said 20.
I was told 10.
They made a mistake then, didn't they? Sorry.
Say, what are you trying to do?
Nothing. Not a thing.
I was told you were with us.
I am. But I get paid for it, too, don't you?
Well, I can't sit here any longer. We might be watched. Will you please give me...
Sorry, it was a misunderstanding.
But...
Unless you want to take me to the head man. Maybe he can straighten it out.
I haven't got any instructions for that. Where can I reach you?
Well, as of about 2 hours from now, you can't. I'm leaving town.
Will you give it 24 hours? It'll take that long.
I'm sorry. If you can't pay what I want, there's somebody else who will.
I'm going.
Okay. So long. I was sitting on a bench in a little park in North Hollywood, California. The late fall sun was warm, and for a change, there wasn't any smog in the air. I watched the woman I'd never seen before walk off down the path. She was headed for the avenue and some cars parked beyond the trees. I thought how nice it would have been if she were just a woman in the park, nothing else. I waited until she was out of sight, then I got up and walked away in the opposite direction. I got the bus at the Hollywood station. I had a train ticket in my pocket, but with the new development, it looked safer to ride the bus. Just before we pulled out, a girl climbed aboard and came down the aisle looking for a seat.
Excuse me, is this number...
18.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, let me put your case up.
Oh, thank you. I was afraid I was going to miss it.
Yeah, I know how it is. I settled back and watched the city drift away into desert country. As buses go, it was pretty quiet. There was a 6 or 7 year old kid with his mother a couple of seats forward, but he dozed off almost as soon as we got running. I took a look at the girl sitting next to me. Oh, not in the way you might think, but because in my business you get to learn to look at people. You never know who it might be. She must have felt me watching, and she lowered the magazine she was reading.
Would you care to look at one of these?
Oh, well, that's nice of you. I always forget to buy them.
This one's a mystery. I don't usually read them, but on a long trip, they kind of pass the time away.
Yeah, they do. How far are you going?
New York.
Oh, that is a long trip, all right.
I'll say. I haven't been back for 10 years. Bet it's changed.
I guess so. I read the mystery well into Arizona, and when I finished, it was beginning to get dark. The kid up ahead was awake and hungry. There was a feeling of expectation on the bus as we drove into the first night of travel.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. It was fine. Thanks a lot.
What was it about?
Spies. Real exciting.
I like spy movies sometimes, but I think they do so many of them. You read about it in the papers all the time. I don't know, you think people would get sick of it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They're exciting, like you say, but I bet it isn't really like that.
I doubt it. Oh, say, my name's Charlie. Charlie Rader.
Oh, how do you do? I'm Julie Spaulding.
Hi.
That kid sounds as hungry as I am.
Yeah. We ought to be stopping soon.
I hope so.
About 15 minutes later, we pulled up at a restaurant terminal and went in for food. I watched for any new passengers who might be getting on. I didn't see anybody, and as soon as I finished my sandwich and coffee, I sent a telegram to New York, then got back on the bus. The girl, Julie, and I seemed to be hitting it off, and it was pleasant enough to pass the time. After we got rolling, the kid up ahead decided to sing himself to sleep. It was like a crooning over and over again, the same song, the same few notes. I guess it put everybody else to sleep except him.
Well, it makes you sleepy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to do that. Kids are funny.
How?
I don't know. I'm going back to New York for my sister's wedding. She's getting married next week. She says she wants lots of kids. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mind if I ask you something?
I don't mind what.
Are you married?
No.
I don't mean it the way it sounds. I'm always interested in trying to guess about people. Now, I would have figured you were a married man with maybe 2 or 3 kids.
No, I'm not married.
I hope you don't think I'm nosy.
No.
Well, that kid singing fixed me. I'm taking a nap. Good night, Charlie.
Good night. I must have dropped off, too. And when I woke up, she had her head on my shoulder. A lock of her hair was falling over her closed eyes. And then I knew something was different on the bus. Somebody on the other side of the aisle, watching.
Excuse me, mister. Have you got a match? I'm clean out.
Oh, sure. Just a minute. Here.
Thank you.
No, keep them.
Oh, fine. Thanks a lot.
Hey, you got any idea where we are?
No, I'm not sure. I got on at Flagstaff an hour or so back. Oh, boy, I envy her. Wish I could sleep like that. That's your wife?
No.
Oh. Say, that's rude. But taking your matches and not offering you a cigarette.
That's okay. I don't want one now, thanks.
Say, I want to tell you something.
Oh?
There's a lady in the seat behind you. I think you've met her before in the park. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We brought her with us to identify you. But she gave us a pretty good description back in L.A.
Good for her.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a nice trip. Nothing like traveling with people you know, is there?
Oh, nothing like it.
Don't suppose you've got any reading material you could let me look at?
How about a mystery? It's a spy story. Pretty good.
No, I was thinking of something else. I think, something more, say, scientific. I'm very interested in airplanes. Jet motors.
Sorry. He looked across at me, smiling, pleasant. And to anybody watching, it was nothing more than the casual conversation of two strangers brought together by the night and sympathy of loneliness. Then he leaned back, and reaching inside his jacket, brought out a small automatic, which he kept very carefully hidden from any eyes but mine.
I always carry this with me on a trip. You never know.
Oh, I knew all right. If they couldn't buy what they wanted, there were other ways. That's what he was telling me. And I saw in the man's smiling face that I'd never reach New York unless I killed them before they killed me.
Listening to Classified Secret, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
9 solid years of applause. That's the wonderful record of popularity that belongs to Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts, now in its 10th year. Enjoy the fun with the inimitable redhead this Monday night on most of these same stations. You'll hear promising young performers compete for a golden chance at fame. Enjoy the suspense as you wait to hear which entertainer will be singled out by the studio audience. Don't miss Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts this Monday night at the Star's Address.
And now, we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Parley Bear, starring in tonight's production, Classified Secret. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Julie and I had breakfast somewhere in New Mexico. The woman from the park and the man who carried the small automatic sat in a booth while we ate at the counter. I'd thought about things most of the night, and I decided to tell the girl, not too much, but enough so that she might be able to help. And I knew I'd need some help.
Coffee's pretty good here.
Yeah. Cigarette?
No, thanks.
Julie.
Yes?
I want to tell you something.
Oh?
Now, I don't want you to turn around or look. Just pretend we're talking about the weather, the coffee, anything. But listen.
Well, sure, Charlie.
There's a couple sitting in the booth behind us. They're spies.
Oh, you.
I'm not kidding. I can't tell you much, but as you love your life, you'll believe me.
Oh, you're kidding. Spies?
Don't turn around. Smile and just listen.
But
They're trying to get hold of the plans for a new jet motor. It's faster than anything anybody else has got.
You are kidding.
No, I'm not.
How do you know? Well, how do you know about it?
I'm working for the government.
FBI?
Well, in a way. But now I need you to help me.
Me?
They think I've got the blueprints, the plans, and they're going to try and get them from me.
But can't we get the police?
No.
Well, but why?
Because we're trying to get the head man. And if those two are arrested, we'll have to start all over again. They think I'm working with them. But I got tough about the money they offered, so now they're going to try and get rid of me and get the secret for nothing.
Did they follow you from L.A.?
Yeah, they got on during the night in Flagstaff.
All right, folks, let's go.
Well, I don't see... Well, what can I do?
Just stick with me. I'll explain at the next stop. We can't talk about it on the bus because she's sitting right behind and he's across the aisle.
Listen, are you pulling my... No. No, you're not, are you?
I'm not. We went on through New Mexico and the Pink Rock and desert. We talked a lot of nonsense, and after a while I could see she was getting back to the idea that I'd been kidding. Especially after the man with the gun introduced himself as Mr. Hutchinson and started to talk about fishing. It was about half an hour before our lunch stop.
Now, you take some of that Northern California country. So you talk about trout and steelhead. Oh, boy, I tell you.
My dad used to take us up, my sister and me. He'd take us up to a place in Maine.
Oh, gee.
Dad always wanted a couple of boys, I guess. When he saw what he got, well, he figured it wouldn't spoil his plans anyway, so he took us fishing every summer. You should have seen the fishing up there.
Oh, I'd like to someday. I'd like that. How about you, Mr. Rader? You like fishing?
No, not much.
Ever try it?
A little, when I was a kid.
You ought to take it up again, if you have time.
Well, I might do that.
You know, if a man had a little money put away, he could do a lot of fishing. Oh, boy, that's the way to live. Have about, say, $10,000. Go all over the country, fishing, no work, no worries. How's that sound, Miss Spaulding?
What a life.
It would take more than 10,000.
Oh, I don't know. 10's better than nothing. Say, have you ever been up to the road?
They went on talking, and I did some thinking. He was smarter than I'd thought. Looked like a nice, average guy and behaved like one. That's one thing I'd learned. The more ordinary you can be, the less you're going to be suspected. And these people had it down to a science. It wasn't going to be easy because I was going to have to convince Julie all over again. I could see that. My chance didn't come until that evening after our dinner stop. By that time, the woman in the park, who went by the name of Lisa Nyland, Hutchinson, the girl, and myself, all four of us were buddies. We'd pulled up over the Colorado border. There was some kind of trouble up ahead, a slide or a wreck, and the driver told us we'd have half an hour or so before we went on.
You want to take a walk for a while? There's a cafe a couple of 100 yards back. I'll give you a call when we're ready to move on.
Here, watch your step, Julie.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, well, gee. Well, it's kind of nice to have an extra leg stretch at that. How about some coffee?
Oh, that'd be nice. Charlie?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to have a look at the valley down there. We might walk up the dirt road away, get a pretty good view, the sunset and all.
Oh, you're romantic, eh?
Sure, why not?
Oh, Charlie.
Okay with you, Lisa? You feel romantic? Want to see a valley and the sunset?
That'd be very nice.
Okay, then, let's go. Now, there's women. Now, be careful. There's snakes.
We walked away from the bus and up a narrow ranch road. About 100 yards up, there was a curve, and around it a stand of trees. And when we got there, you couldn't hear the sounds from the highway any longer. It was peaceful, and it was very pretty. I knew that Hutchinson was delighted about the suggestion. It was going to give him his chance. But he made the mistake of playing it a little too clever. Kept his game of small talk going a minute too long. We'd got to the top of a cliff overlooking the valley when I stumbled on a rock and fell a few steps behind before they had a chance to stop. And when they did, I already had my gun out.
Hey, what are you going to do? Target practice?
No, You two stay where you are and keep your hands behind your head. Julie, get over here.
Charlie, are you sure? They seem...
I know what they seem. Now, look, I don't want to do this, but it's you or me. You should have made the right deal in the first place. I can't let you go, you know that.
We might still make a deal.
You had your chance.
We've got the 10,000. Now, how about waiting until we get to the next town? We'll have the rest of it telegraphed back.
I make mistakes, but not that kind.
If you told us what you wanted, we might have been able to get the 20,000 for you in Los Angeles.
Turn around, both of you.
Oh, wait a minute. We're all in this together. We all want the same thing. You figure you can get more money from the people in the East. Okay, give us a chance to get it for you. We're in contact with them.
Turn around.
Well, they give us our orders. What difference does it make? Look, you shoot us. What do you think they'll do? They won't let you get away with that. They'll kill you.
Charlie, you can't just shoot them. Turn them over to the police. You can't just shoot them.
Be quiet.
He can't tell the police, Julie. He's with us. Only he wants money out of it. And he thinks he'll get more from the head man in the East.
Turn around, and I'm not going to say it again.
Charlie, don't. I know you've got a duty, but you can arrest them, please. You could still.
I told you to be quiet.
Arrest? Listen, Ray, dear. You're not going to... Oh, you're not going to kill us over 10,000? Boy, that's murder. Even if...
Miss Nyland dropped instantly. Hutchinson held his middle for a second and tried to keep his balance. I shot him in the back of the head. I knew he was dead before his body slipped to the ground. The girl just stood next to me, her hands tightly covering her mouth. She was shivering. I took a look out across the wide valley. The sky was turning purple.
I've never seen anybody killed before.
I'm sorry.
Couldn't you have arrested them or something? Couldn't you? Did you have to?
I had to. They wouldn't have stopped at killing both of us if they'd had the chance.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do now?
I've got to get the money for evidence.
What are you going to tell the driver? He'll ask where they are. Charlie? Driver's going to wonder where they are. Charlie, what are you doing?
I've got to put him over the cliff.
Oh, no. No.
I've got to.
Oh. No. You can't, Charlie. Not her. No.
All right. Come on. We got back to the bus. Neither of us said anything about the two we'd walked off with. I guess nobody had seen us together, and after waiting around for another half hour, the driver gave up.
I'll drop that baggage in La Junta. Better notify the police, too.
Screwy, all right.
Okay, folks. Sorry for the delay. You better go back to your seat, mister.
Sure. I was starved when we pulled into the depot at La Junta. I'd already made up my mind to lay over and take a detour on another bus. The girl wasn't going to be able to keep quiet much longer, and I had to get rid of her. We got out of the bus. Two men were standing alongside, waiting.
Just a minute, please. We're special agents for the FBI. Search him, Larry.
Just gun and money.
Where are the other two?
The other two?
They're dead. He killed them.
Oh. We'll take those plans now, Mr. Rader, and don't do anything silly. There are 4 more men covering you.
Okay. It's in my shoe. You want me to take it off now?
Please.
All right. I've got terrible balance. Mind if I lean on you?
No.
Thank you. Here we are.
Thank you, Mr. Rader. This isn't worth anything, really, you know. We planted it in the factory in L.A. for someone to steal. What we wanted was to be led to the top man in New York, and when you sent that wire to him from Arizona, we got him.
Uh-huh.
We were worried about you, Julie, when you didn't call us from Albuquerque.
I didn't get a chance. He was with me all the time.
Is she... Oh, my. Is she... Are you playing spy, too, Julie?
I'm working for the government, Mr. Rader.
She's been following you since you stole the plans.
Well, you fooled me. I bet you fooled Hutchinson and Nyland, too. It won't matter to them, though, will it? Well, that's the way it goes.
Take him away, will you? I had to watch him murder those two. I don't want to hear him laugh about it.
Come on, Rader. We've got a car waiting.
Sure. So long, Julie. Nice to have met you.
Suspense, in which Parley Bear starred in tonight's presentation of Classified Secret. Be sure to listen next week for another presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis, who also wrote tonight's script. The music was composed by Leith Stevens and Lucian Morwick and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Virginia Eiler, Charlotte Lawrence, Richard Beals, Howard McNear, Charles Seal, and Jim Nesser.
Listen Friday night for the 21st Precinct. The hard-hitting 21st Precinct Police will give us another graphic view of big city protectors at work. There's danger every minute, human interest every second, when Metropolitan Police try to unsnarl personal problems, hunt the missing, solve the crimes, protect the public, sometimes from itself. Remember, Friday nights on most of these same stations. Hear the 21st Precinct. Gunsmoke every Saturday and Sunday on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a story of a man's life and his defeat at the hands of his greatest enemy. We call it This Will Kill You. So now, starring Sam Edwards, here is tonight's suspense play, This Will Kill You.
Get a load of this. This'll kill you. I got a story that should be written up by one of those big magazine writers. Only mine is true. Yeah, the whole thing is true, so help me. They say the truth is stranger than fiction, don't they? Well, get this. I was working down at Acme Engineering, an outfit making hydraulic valves for all the big airplane companies. We had a foreman named Charlie Harris, one of those big, good-looking guys who thought he was a big shot because he was boss. Well, this guy was always picking on me. Like, for instance, one morning I came to work a few minutes late, and this Harris says,
Well, good afternoon, Jordan.
oh, save those gags for Jack Benny. It's only 8:15.
Well, get here at 8 and you'll be spared my sense of humor.
Ain't a guy got a right to get here a couple of minutes late once in a while?
Sure, once in a while, Joe, but not every other day.
Oh, gee, Charlie, my alarm clock's on the bump.
Save that for the teacher. Come on, Joe, get on the ball.
Save that for the teacher, he said. Always throwing up to me that he graduated from engineering school. And I never even got a chance to go to high school. As if you need an education to be a smart guy. Why, I could tell you 100 guys who never even went to school. And they could buy and sell that guy. Now, but that's another story. Anyway, this Charlie Harris kept giving me the needle.
Joe, can I talk to you a minute?
What is it now, Chief?
Quit calling me Chief. Now, look, kid, I don't know what's wrong, but you're slowing up. The other boys are turning out 100 parts a day, and you're only averaging 80. Now, what's the trouble?
Oh, gee, I don't know. My eyes hurt. This work's tough on the peeps, and I got to stop once in a while. My eyes hurt bad.
You complained last week, too, Joe, and the company doctor's report said there was nothing wrong.
Oh, what does that quack know?
Quit the complaints and get on the job.
Get on the job. Did you get that? Just because he's bucking for promotion by being the first one in and the last one to leave, so the big boss will think he's a hot shot. Could I help it if my eyes hurt bad? Oh, he had to make a big thing out of it. Just because I got in the habit of having a couple of drinks every night and he found out. Ain't a guy got a right to have a little fun once in a while? So my eyes hurt a little the next day. Is that so terrible? Well, anyway, he kept picking on me. One day I was knocking my brains out. Let me go, let me go, let me go, lover. Let me go. Yeah?
You know there's oil and gasoline all over the place.
Yeah.
And that a cigarette could burn the plant down.
So what?
So read the sign beside your machine.
I can read it, Charlie.
Read it.
No smoking.
Put out that cigarette.
What cigarette?
Why, you stupid. Give me that.
I'll break your head!
Come on, lay off, fella. Hey, wait a minute.
I would have murdered the guy, but he hit me a lucky punch. Never would have happened again in a million years, but he knocked me out. Charlie was standing by the cot when I came to, looking worried. He started to apologize, but I gave him a quick brush. The stinking rat. He was scared of me. That's why he didn't report me to the front office. He acted as if he was doing a big thing by not snitching. But it was because he was scared of me. He thought I'd forget. Oh, no. Joe Jordan never forgets nothing. Remember that. And Joe Jordan always gets even. But I played my cards right. I didn't let him know I was still sore. That was smart, wasn't it? I went on working as if nothing happened, even though the rest of the guys started picking on me, too, because he was boss, and they was trying to get in good with him. They kept after me every day until I thought my head would explode, always rubbing it in.
Hey, Rocky, still leading with your chin? Hey, Joe, quit using my tools all the time. You're not smoking again, buddy. You're asking for another one of those lucky punches from Charlie, you know. Quit throwing your shavings on my machine, Joe.
I used to get splitting headaches from the pounding on my brain. Oh, you would too, getting it from all sides like that, wouldn't you? It wasn't so bad during the day. The machine drowned out the noise in my head, but at night that pounding would start, steady, like my machine, banging away all the time, so I couldn't sleep. It might have got another guy, but not me. I'm too tough. Yeah, and I got plans for Joe Jordan. Be a big guy someday with my brains, no foreman of some small-time outfit. I'd be head man of the biggest shop in town with a classy car, big house with servants, and a beautiful wife. Yeah, a beautiful wife. And I had her all picked out. Her name was Harriet. She was a stenographer at Acme. All the guys was on the make for her. But she had a yen for me. Oh, not that she ever said anything, but I could tell. I know dames. Once we had a long talk at the water cooler, and I knew I could take her out whenever I got good and ready. When I heard about the company dance, I was good and ready. I didn't want her to think I was too anxious, so I just waited. And a week before the dance, I met her at the water cooler again and managed to bump her as I got a paper cup.
Oh,
pardonnez-moi.
Oh, you speak French?
Yeah, a little. I knew a guy from Paris, France once, and he taught me a couple of things. Cherchez la femme, comment allez-vous?
That's quite an accent. Excuse me, Joe, I gotta get back.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a lot of accomplishments. I'm a good dancer, too. Did you know I took second place in the bop contest at Ocean Park last year?
No, I didn't.
Do you do the New Yorker?
No, I'm sort of on the conservative side.
Oh, I can do the square stuff, too.
Well, we must dance sometime. Excuse me, Joe, really.
Wait. I just happened to think. How about going to the company dance with me Friday?
Well, I'm very sorry, but I can't.
Aren't you going?
Yes, but I have a date with Charlie.
Charlie who?
Charlie Harris.
Charlie Harris. He moved into my life, then he moved into my head and started it banging. And now he moved in with my girl. That guy was doing everything he could to burn me up. He knew I was going to ask Harriet to the dance, and he beat me to it. Okay, I said to myself, okay, I can wait a week. But I'll get to dance with the little lady. Once I get her in my arms and show her a couple of steps, she won't want to dance with him again. Oh, it was a long week. I kept hearing reports that Charlie and Harriet were engaged. But that was just to burn me, see? And then came the dance.
Didn't you bring a girl, Joe?
I got a doll here, pal.
Where is she? Dancing with some other guy?
Yeah, dancing with some other guy.
Well, don't stand there with your teeth in your mouth. If my girl was dancing with another guy, you can bet I'd cut in.
That's a good idea. Pardon me, I'm cutting in.
No, you're not, Joe.
I wasn't asking the pleasure of you, Charlie. Now, if you don't mind.
This is our favorite number, Joe.
Why can't I cut in once? Just because he's a big foreman?
Because you're the little jerk.
Jerk. Did you get that? He called me a jerk. But he didn't know how smart I was. All good things aren't on the surface, you know. I went home and I tried to sleep. But the pounding on my brain was coming like a sledgehammer. Bang, bang, bang. And I could hear Harriet laughing at me. That dirty double-crossing dame laughing at me. The banging in my head coming louder and louder, crashing against my brain, exploding. And then the pounding stopped. For the first time in weeks, there was silence in my head. That soft, cool quiet. Like Sunday morning, when you were a kid and no one was awake in the house but you. Like Christmas night, after the excitement was over and you went to bed and thought about the new sled and the wonderful dinner you just ate. And outside, you heard the tinkling sleigh bells. And there was peace on earth. And then I got the idea. No more pounding in my head now. I was going to eliminate the cause of the pounding. Kill the root. Yeah. I was going to kill two birds with one stone. Charlie Harris was going to burn for murder. And the murder? The murder of Harriet Slate.
You are listening to This Will Kill You, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. This Thursday, December 1st, will be the second annual SD Day, Safe Driving Day. Its purpose very simple: to demonstrate that on any given day on which all motorists redouble their efforts to avoid accidents, there will be drastically fewer accidents. Doesn't this fact that last year's SD Day resulted in a great reduction in accidents suggest that everybody cooperate in every way to make SD Day a success again? This has been a public service reminder from CBS Radio. And now we bring back to our Hollywood sound stage Sam Edwards, starring in tonight's production, This Will Kill You, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Still with me? Well, listen, like I was telling you, I decided to kill Harriet and pin the rap on Charlie. Fooled you, didn't I? You thought I was going to knock off Charlie myself, didn't you? Oh, no. No, the law was going to do the job. You get the switch? I planned it carefully so there'd be no slip-ups. I took plenty of time. I worked it all out to the smallest detail. And then I did a real smart thing. Now, get this. I knew how I was going to knock off the dame and how to pin the blame on Charlie. But the only thing missing was the motive. Understand, the motive. So before I killed her, I started supplying the motive. Every day down at the plant, I'd drop something here and there to the guys. Hey, Marty, I just heard Charlie and Harriet having an argument down the hall.
Love a spat, probably.
I understand things aren't so hot between those two.
You're crazy, Joe.
Well, that's what I heard. Charlie's been doing a lot of bowling these nights, hasn't he?
Yeah, he loves it.
He didn't seem to when he and Harriet were so palsy-walsy.
I heard something about that, but I don't believe it.
I do. I heard them arguing plenty in the hall the other day. Did you hear that Charlie and Harriet had the big blow-off last night? Something about another guy.
Yeah, I heard things weren't going so hot with those two lately. Say, listen, you hear that Harriet and Charlie had a big scrap the other night?
Old news, Marty, old news. I understand she's got a guy up north, and Charlie is burning.
He ought to bust her head wide open. It would serve her right for two-timing a nice guy like Charlie.
You said it, Marty. There was the motive. Signed, sealed, wrapped up in a big red ribbon, and ready to be delivered. The next afternoon, I heard Charlie making a date with her for that night. He didn't know it, but it was going to be his last date. Well, when the 5 o'clock whistle blew and Charlie went in to wash his hands, I slipped over to his workbench. I grabbed the steel pipe he used on his drill press and slipped it under my coat. I wore gloves so my fingerprints wouldn't show on it. Smart, huh? Only Charlie's fingerprints were on the pipe. I waited outside the plant. In a little while, Charlie walked by. I walked alongside him and started to talk. Yeah, got a minute, Charlie?
Oh, sure. What's on your mind?
Well, there's an idea I've been working on that can speed production in our department. Can I talk to you tonight for an hour or so?
Sorry, Joe. Can't tonight. I got a date.
But with my idea, each man can turn out 150 valves a day, easy. I got it all worked out in a model in my room. Can't you make it tonight?
I told you I've got a date.
You're always giving me that company spirit stuff when it doesn't cost you anything. Okay, Charlie, I took you up on it. I've been giving up my nights to work on this idea. I didn't expect nothing out of it. But when I asked you to give up a measly hour, you're too busy. Why can't you come over after your date?
Take it easy. I didn't know you were so hot about all this. Okay, if it means so much to you, suppose I leave my girl about 11 and get to your room a few minutes later.
Ah, that's swell, Charlie. I'll be waiting for you. I may be out for a minute or two, but the door will be open, so wait for me, huh?
See you later.
You bet. Everything was working like I planned. Pretty good for a dumb guy, huh? Well, I grabbed a bite of dinner and then dropped over to Charlie's boarding house. He lived on the first floor in the back. I looked at his window. It was open a little. Perfect. I waited until dark, pushed up the window and dropped in. It took only a few seconds to find what I wanted. A handkerchief with Charlie's initials on it. I was outside and walking down the street before he even had time to get nervous. I killed time until about 10:30 and drove over to Harriet's house and waited across the street. In a little while, Harriet and Charlie walked up, talked for a little while. Then Charlie looked at his watch and kissed her good night. I waited for a few minutes after he left, and then I walked up to her room.
Who's there?
It's me, Harriet, Joe Jordan. I got to tell you something about Charlie.
Joe, what is it?
Don't get nervous. Nothing happened. I'm just playing a little trick on Charlie.
Oh, you had me scared for a second. Come on in, Joe. I was just making a little home recording of the song, singing along with the radio. I know Charlie will get a big kick out of it.
Yeah. That's your favorite song, isn't it?
Charlie's, too. We love it.
You really go for that guy, don't you?
Any question about it? Joe, we were going to tell everyone in a few days anyway, so you may as well know right now. Charlie and I are going to be married in 3 weeks when we get our vacations. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Only you're taking your vacation a little sooner than that, baby.
What do you mean?
You're not marrying him or anybody else, see?
Are you kidding? Get out of here, you little jerk.
I'm a little jerk, am I?
Joe! Joe, what are you going to do with it? Joe, no!
I did it. It was done. I looked at the clock. It was 11:10. He'd just be getting to my room now. 5 minutes to kill. I dropped Charlie's handkerchief on the floor, then messed up the joint to look like a struggle. I waited till 11:15, then smashed the clock. It stopped dead. I dropped the steel pipe on the floor, blew the place fast, and raced home. I ran up the stairs, worried maybe Charlie had left.
Well, where you been, Joe? I was just getting ready to leave.
Oh, I'm sorry, Charlie. I got stuck.
All right. Where's the model you were talking about?
Oh, gee, I'm sorry to have dragged you all the way over here for nothing. It's still at the welder's. I thought it would sure be here about a night. Let's make it tomorrow.
You're a great one. You messed up my whole evening.
Oh, I'm sorry. I poured a couple of drinks into him so he wouldn't get home till late. And then I dropped off to a nice, restful sleep. The next morning, I was on the job at 8 on the dot. Charlie was there already, but that didn't worry me. It wouldn't be for long. About an hour later, the kid from the front office came up and said something to Charlie, and he left the shop. That was it. Those were the cops. And Charlie was a dead pigeon. Well, I went on with my work, not doing very much, just faking, because I knew I was next. And I was. The same kid came at lunchtime and told me I was wanted at the front gate. I got a little nervous when I saw the two big coppers, but as soon as they spoke, I felt it was going to be all right.
Joe Jordan?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
I'm Lieutenant Sullivan, Homicide Squad. Hope you don't mind coming down to headquarters with us. I want to ask you a couple of questions.
No, I don't mind. What's it all about?
Where were you last night, Jordan?
Last night? I hit the hay early.
What time?
Well, I was awful tired, and I had a tough day at the shop yesterday. I guess about 9:30.
Did you see Charlie Harris last night?
No. I saw him when we left the plant yesterday, about 5, but... Hey, where's Charlie now? He left the shop about 10 this morning.
Oh, never mind. But he says he was in your room at 11:15.
Well, maybe he was. Charlie Harris is a nice guy, and he don't lie. If he says so, then it's probably right.
Thought you said you went to bed about 9:30.
No, I did. Maybe I was asleep when he came in. Maybe I was talking in my sleep when he was there. I wouldn't want to louse up Charlie. Say, what are you guys trying to pin on me? If Charlie's in a jam, I got to know what he said. I got to back him up.
Save it, kid. Tell me, do you know Harriet Slate?
That no-good two-time and dame double-crossing a good guy like Charlie. Why, he was just telling me when we left the plant yesterday that he was going to get it settled last night once and for all. So what are you smiling at? Did I say something? Smart, huh? I handled that smart, didn't I? Do you see now how I worked the whole thing out? Every little detail? Remember how I planned it that night in bed when the pounding stopped like I told you before? The trial was a cinch. The DA had all the evidence he needed and a little more. Charlie was with her that night. Proved. The steel pipe was his, wasn't it? Proved. They was his fingerprints, wasn't they? Proved. And the motive? The boys in the plant furnished that. They were perfect witnesses. They liked Charlie, tried to help him, but they had to admit the stories that were going around. And the piece de resistance, that sprint, you know, was the way I knocked his alibi for a loop. Now you see why I smashed the clock at 11:15? Boy, you should have seen that guy when the jury came in with a verdict.
Charles Harris, will you rise and come before the court? Charles Harris, a jury of your peers has found you guilty of murder in the first degree, and I hereby...
Oh, boy, what a day. You should have seen him. He stood there trying to put on that big shot stuff even then. Trying to act like he wasn't scared to die. I could tell he was ready to faint right there and then. But the newspaper guys were taken in, and they said he stood straight and fine and brave in that courtroom. Like a soldier facing a firing squad. That's what they said, the dopes. But I knew he was yellow. Or else why wouldn't he have picked on me? Just because he was boss, huh? So you see, I was smarter than he thought. Than anybody thought. Even the DA and those cops. That was a funny situation, wasn't it? The real murder was in court, furnishing the testimony that convicted that poor slob. And no one knew it. That's a good one, huh? That's a good one.
It's time, Joe.
Be brave now, Joseph. We must go.
All right, Father, but let me tell you the punchline.
Come on, Joe. It's time.
Oh, quit it. So we'll be a minute late, so you'll pay the guy who pulls the switch a minute overtime. The state can afford it. I've been telling Father here the whole story. I've got to tell him the snapper, don't I?
Let him finish. Go on, my son.
It was a fluke, Father. 1,000,000 to one shot. They never would have got me if not for one thing. One little mistake, Father. If not for that, it would have been a perfect crime. It would have been me walking around here free now, not Charlie. You see, the night I knocked the doll off, she up and told me she was making a recording of that song on the radio. She told me, you hear? And I forgot all about it. So all the time I was spilling my guts to Harriet, that machine was taking down every word, and I forgot all about it. If I'd smashed the record, if I'd only smashed it that night. But Harriet's old lady got her things, and a few weeks later decided to play the records. And she heard the whole thing, my whole confession, just as if I spilled to the cops.
Father.
We must go now, Joseph.
Okay, Father. I'm coming. Come on and watch a real man walk down the last mile. You've seen plenty of guys walking down this road, didn't you, Warden? I bet none of them took it as good as me, did they?
The Lord is my shepherd.
They say guys crack up on this little walk, don't they? Not me. I got guts. I bet Charlie would have cracked up by now, hey, Warden? He'd be screaming his yellow head off. He wouldn't be taking it like me. There's nothing to be scared of. Guy pulls a little switch and it's all over. They say you don't feel a thing. You don't feel nothing, do you, Warden? Oh, you should know. You've seen plenty get it. It doesn't hurt, does it?
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort.
I could have been a big man in this town.
Now prepare
with a classy car.
Before me in the presence
a big house with servants. And a beautiful wife. Yeah, a beautiful wife. I got a tough break. 1 in a million, I tell you.
Surely goodness and mercy shall.
But it's all in the game, see? Come see, come saw. That's French, you know. I'm taking it pretty good, ain't I? Not many take it like me, do they, Warden? You think the papers will say I stood up straight and fine and brave, huh? Like the guy facing the firing squad? I'm taking it pretty good, ain't I, Warden? Ain't I, Father? I'm taking it pretty good, ain't I? I'm not afraid. You know that, don't you? Don't you? I'm not. I'm not afraid.
Suspense, in which Sam Edwards starred in tonight's presentation of This Will Kill You. Listen again next week when we again bring you another story in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by Peter Ashley. The music was composed by Rene Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Charles Seal, Leonard Weinrib, Lillian Baeff, and Barney Phillips. Don't reach for your holster. Reach for your CBS radio dial instead, and let Matt Dillon do the shooting on Gunsmoke. In the character of United States Marshal Matt Dillon, all the heroes of the old-time frontier days come to life. In Gunsmoke, CBS Radio has a widely applauded, widely followed program, power-packed with action, Saturdays in the daytime and Sunday nights. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News to be followed on most of these stations by The Jack Carson Show. Friday nights, join us in the 21st Precinct on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a story of a woman who holds death over her husband's head. We call it When the Bough Breaks. So now, starring Virginia Gregg with Stacey Harris, here is tonight's suspense play, When the Bough Breaks.
I remember when I was little. I remember how you used to swing me in the garden, and the big maple tree and the rusty squeak as I went up and down, up and down. Grandfather, don't let me fall. I want you to hold me like you used to when I was hurt. I'm afraid because I'm dying. Just the way you died, Grandfather. And why should I die? How did it all happen?
This is it, baby.
Oh, it looks very nice. Gary, please be careful of my coat. You're dragging it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Here, you hold it while I get the key out, will you? I'll get the suitcases later. Oh, no, wait a minute. Come on, let's do this right.
Harry. Oh, Harry, put me down. People.
Let him watch. We're married. This is the way it's done. You've got a lot to learn.
All right, now, put me down, Harry. Please, Harry. I asked you to...
All right.
Put me.
All right, baby. I'm sorry.
You're sweet. I'm tired. I didn't mean to be angry. I'm tired, that's all.
Sure. Sure, yeah. Well, you like it?
It's a very nice house, dear. I'm sure we'll be comfortable.
Oh, it's not bad for a short order deal. Take a look around. Come here. Open this door.
It's a closet.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Now, they're all like that. Nice and roomy. Living room, dining room through there, kitchen.
Harry, please. Can I sit down for a minute? My head's splitting.
Oh, sure, baby. Sure, come in. On the sofa. It's not bad, huh? Come on. Off with the shoes. Here, put your feet up.
Thank you, dear. It all looks very nice. You must have spent a lot of money, though.
Money? Nothing. As soon as the probate judge turns the real money loose, we'll get something that'll knock your eye out.
I don't want to talk about that, Harry. I don't even want to think about it. Never again.
Of course not, baby. I don't know what's the matter with me. Of course you don't.
I don't want to think about it, Grandfather. But I have to talk about it. To you. There'll be lawyers to pay and the inheritance tax. I never realized how very much you were worth. But you never spoke much about money. It was always there, ever since I can remember. Funny, I never thought about it until after you'd gone. Harry did, though. I lied to you about Harry. I'm sorry. I didn't meet him the way I said I did. I picked him up, Grandfather, on the beach. I went looking for a man, and I found him. The men you chose for me were so weak. I wanted someone like you. Like Harry. It wasn't respectable for a woman in her late 30s to do that, was it? I'm sorry.
Honey, I guess you didn't know I had a feel for interior decorating, did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, maybe when we get to dough, we'll... Oh, I'm sorry, Evie. Just that I was figuring maybe I'd go in the business.
Harry, how did you know they'd let me go? How did you know all this wouldn't be wasted? Or maybe you'd be here with another girl.
Now, you're the girl, Marcy. Only you. Besides, they couldn't have pinned it on you. I watched that jury. You're high class. No, they believed you.
Yesterday. I didn't think I'd be married now and in a new house.
Now, why don't you forget it, huh? You've been acquitted, and that's it. From here on in...
Oh, Harry.
Baby, you're jumping.
Oh, yes, I'm jumping.
Well, now,
Harry.
relax, honey. Married couples have callers. It's probably the next-door neighbors. You stay right there. I'll get rid of them.
Harry Stryker. Fancy meeting you here.
What do you want, Corcoran?
Oh, he doesn't say glad to see you. He doesn't say come in and have a drink. All he says is, what do you want, Corcoran?
We're busy. No statements.
No statements? You just got married, didn't you? You moved into a new house. Your wife beat a murder rap yesterday. No statement. You're new.
Harry, make him go away. Harry, please.
Mrs. Stryker, well, congratulations on all counts. Marriage, murder, and money.
All right, Corcoran. Get out.
Are you kidding? You and Evie are good for 5 or 6 more front pages. You're my babies, my story of the year.
Look, I'm going to bounce you, or you can beat me to it by walking out, but fast.
Why didn't you leave us alone? The trial's over. The state is finished with us. Why can't you be?
Finished, Evie? You were acquitted, if that's what you mean. You can never be tried again for the same murder.
Then
Not even if you said to me it might amuse your readers to know, Mr. Cochran, that I really did murder my grandfather. They can't touch you.
Now, look, boy, I'm going to work you over so you'll never chew a steak again.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Well, then get out of here.
Okay. But first, I came here to tell you something.
Eddie, go on in the next room.
No. What do you want, Mr. Corcoran?
Nothing much, Mrs. Stryker. I just want to tell you I'm going to do a Sunday feature on you. I'm going to call it She Has Him in the Palm of Her Hand.
No. No, forget about us. Please. Harry, give him some money. Tell him to stop.
Oh, you couldn't pay me enough, Evie. The story of why you hold this guy's life in your hands is too good.
Now, what do you mean by that crack?
I knew your wife had beat the case the minute I laid eyes on her, Harry. That holier-than-thou look, grandfather known by one and all to be a wretched old man, myosin as a lawyer.
You've already written about those things, Mr. Corcoran. Don't
now,
you
wait
think...
a minute. I'm leading up to it. The autopsy showed your grandfather had a disease that had killed him anyway in a few months. Anyway, so verdict suicide, huh?
Why can't you understand that? He knew. He knew he was going to die.
I don't buy it, but I buy this. You were never brought to trial, Harry, because they couldn't tie you into it. You had an alibi for the night the old man drank that poison.
That's right. I wasn't there.
And the DA knew that you're a photographer, among other things, and had access to cyanide, but he couldn't hang anything on you, so you weren't tried for murder. She was. She can't be again. Not for that one.
Harry, I'm tired of this. Mr. Corcoran's trying to frighten us, that's all. Will you ask him to leave?
Hold it, baby. Go on, Corcoran. Get to the point. Huh?
Sure. Like I say, you weren't indicted, but you could be if your wife talked.
Talked? But there's nothing for me to talk about. What could I say?
Oh, you could say that Harry got the cyanide for you, and you worked it out together to get the old man's money. Then they'd try Harry, but not you, Evie, because you've been acquitted.
I won't listen. I won't.
All right, Evie.
Okay.
Come on, Corcoran. Come on.
Sure, don't get sore. If you didn't do it, you haven't got a thing to worry about, Harry. But if you did, then you better be nice to Mrs. Stryker, because maybe someday she'll get mad, and if she talks, it's bye-bye, Harry.
Come on, Corcoran. So long.
Yeah, you got him in the palm of your hand, Evie. Remember, they can't touch you for it.
When Harry came back from the door, I knew what he was thinking. What that horrible newspaper reporter had said. He wouldn't look at me. He just went to the bar and poured a drink. I was afraid of him. I wanted him to hold me and tell me it was all right, like you used to. But he didn't. And then I wanted to run away, anywhere. Get on a boat, fly, never see Harry Stryker again. Run, run, run.
Where are you going, baby?
I need some air. I thought
Don't be silly. You don't want to go out there. Corcoran's probably still hanging around.
Harry.
What? What is it, Mouse?
Harry, it's all right, isn't it? I mean, you don't believe what he said.
Of course not. Of course not. He's just a snooper, that's all.
It wasn't the money, was it, Harry? You didn't want me just because of the money.
Baby,
I'm not pretty. I'm not clever. You don't love me, do you? Why should I attract a man like you? It was the money, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Look, baby, you're upset. Now, why don't you go lie down? It's okay. Everything's okay.
Say it! Say you love me. You never have. Please, Harry, look at me. Tell me you think I'm pretty. Harry, say nice things to me. Tell me you love me, Harry.
Keep your voice down, Evie. Listen, Corcoran's still outside. He's listening.
Keep my voice. That was it then. All the time. That's all you cared about, the money. It's never been me. All I wanted was to love you and have you.
Evie, you're all upset. I'll get you a drink.
No. I wish I were dead. I wish I'd told them the truth. I should have said I'm guilty. We both are. Harry and I did it. We murdered him. We murdered my grandfather.
Don't you ever say that again. Don't you even think it, not to yourself.
You are listening to When the Bough Breaks, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Have you some friends who are hard to please at Christmas? How'd you like to give that musician friend a couple of tickets for the New York Philharmonic Symphony, that sports fan, too, for the Orange Bowl game, and that teenager all the records she wants? How'd you like to do all this on your budget? It's as easy as buying a radio set and giving it for Christmas.
And now, we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Virginia Gregg, starring with Stacey Harris, in tonight's production, When the Bough Breaks, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I remember the scent of our garden. I remember when you used to swing me in the evening before supper in the honeysuckle, sweet, drifting about us. We were happy, weren't we? Not like the sadness that came afterwards, and the bitter taste that isn't the taste of honeysuckle. Why am I dying? Grandfather, where are you? Hold my hand, then I shan't be afraid. Afraid of Harry standing there so close. This dark, angry face looking down at me.
Evie, you've got to get a hold of yourself. Do you hear me?
Yes, all right.
Now, this is no good. Evie, don't you see what Corcoran wants? If he can get us at each other's throats, he'll have us, and then his lousy story.
But I wouldn't do anything to hurt you. How can you think such a thing?
Well, then you've got to get straightened out. Now, the way you are now, you'll spill over the first time that anyone puts any pressure on you.
I won't, Harry, honestly. I'll never say a word. I won't. I just want to be happy with you. I want you to love me.
Sure, baby. Sure, but you've got to understand. It's like Corcoran says, it's my neck now, not yours. You've got to be careful.
Harry, maybe if I went away somewhere, alone, maybe I could rest and forget the trial and just go somewhere and rest. I'd come back. You wouldn't have to worry about me saying anything.
No, Evie,
everything would be all right when I came back. You'll let me go, won't you, Harry? You wouldn't do anything to me, Harry.
honey, I didn't mean to do that. You got to believe me, I didn't. But you see what you're like? I've got to watch you, even take care of you.
You hit me. Nobody ever hit me. Ever.
It's all right. It's all right, Mouse.
Don't! Don't!
There. Now do you see? Look, all of a sudden you're afraid of me, and just because of that Corcoran guy. Mousy, you mustn't be afraid of me. We're in the clear, don't you see that? It's all downhill now, Effie. Your grandfather was already dying, only we didn't know it. So when we did what we did, luck was with us. We're in the clear. They couldn't prove anything against you then. They can't now.
I've always been afraid of you. I've always done what you wanted me to do. Part of it was because I loved you, but most of it because I'm afraid. You never let anything get in your way. Grandfather was in your way. Now maybe it's me.
What, are you saying it was all my idea? Are you saying you never asked me to help you get rid of the old man?
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm tired.
You're tired? Sure, Evie, that's it. You're tired. I'll get the bags out of the car, and then we'll fix something to eat, huh? Come on. You got to start getting domestic, Mousy. You're an old married woman now.
He went out to get the suitcases, but he left the front door open. It was too cold to leave the door open. He wanted it that way, so that he could see me, or hear me if I picked up the telephone. You mustn't laugh when I tell you that in the middle of the living room, standing there, I felt the same way that I did when you punished me. When you used to put me in the hall closet and make me stand in the dark with the door closed. I must have been a very naughty little girl sometimes. Is that why I killed you, Grandfather? That night I had a dream. It was a funny dream. There was an enormous alarm clock in the middle of a field. The sun was shining, and you and I were dancing in time to the clicking of the clock. Then Harry came along, and he tried to dance, too, but he was clumsy and tripped and fell down. He waved his arms, and his mouth went open and shut, but we couldn't hear him because of the ticking. We laughed so hard.
What are you laughing at? What's so funny?
Harry. Oh, nothing. It was just a dream.
Yeah? Well, tell me about it.
I can't. I don't remember. It was just funny.
You didn't sound like you were asleep.
I was. Really, I was.
Maybe you figured out a way to tip off Corcoran about me, huh? Maybe that's what's so funny?
No, Harry, it was a dream.
No, now, look, you haven't been kidding me. Why do you think I've watched every minute? I know what's on your mind.
You're wrong. I thought we were happy.
With what you're holding over my head, with what you can do to me? Are you kidding? Listen to me. I haven't slept since the trial, and do you know why? Because I'm afraid of you. Every time we go to the store, every time we go out anywhere, I'm waiting for you to run calling the cops.
But I wouldn't. I've never even thought of it.
Not since yesterday, huh? You thought of it plenty then, didn't you? Didn't you?
Yes. No.
Yes,
okay.
And that's why you were laughing, because you figure you can get rid of me
now.
No. Well, you know no. And look, don't you kid yourself. I figured out the whole thing. I'm the one that got us in the clear, and now you want to mess it up. Evie, I'm not going to let you.
What are you going to do to me?
That depends. That depends on whether or not you can keep your mouth shut.
Why did we do it? Why did we kill him?
Because you wanted the money.
No! You don't understand. I wanted you, and I wanted to get away from him. But I'm not away.
Mousy, look, it's all right. We've done it. Now we've got to follow it through.
You didn't want me without the money. You didn't want me at all. Just the money. You don't love me.
It happens, I do. That's something you can't understand. I've tried to make you believe me, and now something like this comes up, and I'm afraid of you. I keep remembering that if you want to, you can send me to the chair.
Harry, I wouldn't. I couldn't hurt you.
Well, don't worry, you won't. I'm going to watch and see that you don't. Now go on back to sleep.
The next day, he didn't talk to me at all. He didn't say a word. We just sat around the house, and I felt ugly. I prayed that I would suddenly be beautiful, because then he'd trust me, and he'd know that I wouldn't hurt him. It was after lunch that he went into the kitchen. I wanted to watch him now, just as he was watching me. I couldn't bear to have him out of my sight. Supposing he went out the back door, came around to the front, and quietly crept up behind me. I got up and stood behind the dining room door looking through the crack. He was taking down a vial from the closet where he kept his photographic things. I couldn't see a label, but I knew what it was. He put the vial in his jacket pocket and closed the closet. I was going to be murdered with cyanide the way you were, Grandfather.
You stay in here, Eddie, and keep quiet. I'll answer the door, and I don't want to hear a sound out of it.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm your Daily Times delivery boy, and I've come to welcome you into our community.
Sure. Okay, son. Some other time, huh?
As a service to you, so that you may keep abreast of world events, your newspaper...
Look, buddy, we don't need a paper. You go peddle him someplace else.
Please, call
I'm sorry,
someone.
kid. We're not interested. I should have known. Now get back in the living room, you crazy. Eddie, I ought to kill you for trying that. I ought to kill you.
Kill me. That's what he was going to do. I had to get away or use the phone. Call the police. I needed you, Grandfather. I needed you to help me. He walked slowly back into the living room and took off his jacket. I thought how funny it was. Just like a man before a fight. Perhaps he thought I'd fight with him to save my life. What is it like to die, Grandfather? I used to ask you when I was little, when Daddy died.
It's hot in here. I'm going to have a drink. Oh, I've fixed the phone so you can forget that. I'll only be in the kitchen so I can hear you. Don't try anything.
How was he going to use it? The cyanide. He hadn't taken it out of his jacket pocket. It was still there. I knew it was. I heard him open the refrigerator and get out some ice. I didn't even have to get up. I could reach his jacket from where I sat. I was very careful. Used my handkerchief to get the vial out. I'd learned about fingerprints during the trial. I knew just how much to put in a drink so that it wouldn't taste. Harry had taught me that. I was reaching for the cork in the whiskey bottle when I heard him coming back.
Eddie, why don't you keep some glasses in here?
He hadn't seen me. He hadn't. I took the cork out of the whiskey bottle and emptied the vial of cyanide into it. That was all. It was done. I was sitting in my chair when Harry came back with the glasses.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Are you sick?
No. No, I'm all right.
Well, you don't look all right. You better have a drink.
I don't want any.
Well, you better. We've got to talk.
Don't bother to pour it. I won't drink it.
Oh, yes, you will.
I'm not going to.
It'll fix you up. Here. Drink it straight. Come on, here.
No, Harry, I don't want it. I can't stand the taste of it.
Oh,
Please.
Look, don't go getting hysterical again, please. Now, come on. It'll settle you down.
No, I won't.
Come here, will you? Drink it.
Let go of me. It'll make me sick. Oh, please. Harry, don't make me. You know I never drink. I don't want it.
Evie, look, it won't kill you. Now, would you rather me slap you around? Now, come out, will you? Here. Drink it. Go on, drink it.
Harry, no. Harry. I couldn't. And I saw Harry fade away, further and further, until he was miles above me, leaning down and calling to me. I can see his face, so frightened. Then there was nothing. It was very quiet, except for the swing. Quiet. Quiet. You won't let me fall, will you? I can't see you, but you're there. Hold my hand, Grandfather. I don't want to be alone.
She's gone.
Surprised you held on so long. Cyanide cases are usually faster.
Cyanide? Now, wait a minute.
No telling.
Okay, come on, Stryker. We're going downtown.
What are you talking about? What's this about cyanide? What do you mean?
Didn't you know? There was an empty bottle in your jacket pocket. Your prints all over it. On the glass she drank from.
Well, sure there are. She was having hysterics. I made her drink from it.
Cyanide never cured hysterics, Harry.
I didn't do it. Listen, I didn't kill her.
Like you didn't have anything to do with her grandfather's murder. I know. What's the matter? She threatened to talk?
I didn't do it, I tell you. I didn't.
Okay, so you didn't do it. Come on.
No, don't you understand? I put that cyanide in my pocket because I was afraid she'd use it on me. I wasn't going to kill her. I was trying to quiet her down.
Brother, when you quiet them down, they stay quiet. Let's go.
Suspense, in which Virginia Gregg starred with Stacey Harris in tonight's presentation of When the Bough Breaks. Next week, the story of Christmas shopping and a present that went astray. We call it A Present for Benny. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by Sheldon Leonard. The music was composed by Rene Garrigang and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Joseph Kearns, Richard Beals, and Barney Phillips.
On CBS Radio, it's authentic, literate, and dramatic. It's Gunsmoke every Saturday and Sunday. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News to be followed on most of these stations by The Jack Carson Show. Friday nights, join us in the 21st Precinct on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a story of Christmas shopping and a present that went astray. We call it A Present for Benny. So now, starring Jack Crucian, here is tonight's suspense play, A Present for Benny.
Honey lamb. They got a gorgeous ermine on sale at Halgrim's. Just gorgeous. Look.
Later. See the rest of the mail. And not the bills.
Sure, baby doll. Oh, honey pot, it's gorgeous. Like the stuff you got in that big job last month.
I got
Something wrong, lover?
Shut up.
You call me, boss?
Who called you? You want to get thrown out the window?
He's all upset, Swifty, on account of a letter.
Sure, I'm upset. You listen to this. Dear Ricky, I'm sending you this letter like kind of a Xmas greeting. I got a holiday feeling in me, so I'm going to give you the news straight. Me and my boys is the ones who hijacked that load of furs from you last month. Because you were a dirty, no-good fink, I'm stating to you that there ain't no room for the two of us in this town. So me and the boys is moving you out. You were a big chiseler, and if you don't drop dead when you read this, me and the boys will pump you full of lead next time we see you. Yours truly, and a Merry Xmas, Machine Gun Benny.
He's a dirty rat.
Baby, honey, you could give it to me for Christmas. It's only 2 G's, and it's just gorgeous.
But will you shut your trap? I got enough trouble.
Boss, what are you going to do?
What do you think? What do you think? Go call the boys.
Sure.
No. Wait a minute. We got to do this careful. We don't want no open war, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, boss.
Just a couple of us. See. 2 good heads, and you and me. Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, sure, that's the best.
Artie the Grunt. Yeah, Artie. And No-Nose Firebush. That's it, just that.
Artie the Grunt and No-Nose Firebush. Okay, Rick.
That small-time thing. Sure, there's room for only one of us, and he's going to find out which one it is.
You tell him, honey lamb.
Didn't I tell you to make me a drink?
No.
You calling me a liar?
Honey lamb, I ain't calling you a liar. You never told me to make you a drink, did he, Swifty?
I told you to make me a drink a minute ago.
I got ears. You never
I'm telling you again, go make me a drink.
Okay. Big string. Giving orders like a general or something.
Hey, don't get so smart! Dumb dame. Okay, Swifty. To get the boys over here, we got to have us a conference. All right, now, the way I see it, it's Machine Gun Benny or me, see? And it's gonna be me. Yeah, sure. He wants trouble. He found the right party.
You want we should go over and rub him out, boss?
What's the matter with you, No-Nose? He may be stupid, but he ain't dumb. Yeah, that's what he figures. We'll go gunning on him. That's what he figures, see?
Yeah.
So we ain't gonna. We're gonna play it smart. Artie. You got any ideas?
I do.
No-Nose?
Well, cheap, boss, you don't want to use no choppers. See, how about a good old ride?
Dope. How you gonna get at him for a ride? What a dope.
Honey, love.
What? Look, don't bother me, will you?
I got just a present I'm going to buy you.
Good. That's good. Now, shut up, boss.
I got a thought. Maybe we could send this bum a bomb, maybe, huh?
You can't send no bomb through the mail. You know that. It's against the law. Ain't you guys got any... Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah?
I got something.
What, boss?
How's about we could send him a little present, huh?
What do you want? You should send him a present for.
Xmas present. See, all wrapped up with paper and ribbon and everything. Nice box about this big and this wide. And when he opens it, boom.
But, boss, you just said we couldn't
Not
send him...
through the mail. From the store. Hey, Mill,
No. What's the name of that store you always buying at?
Pilgrim. Hey, you're going to buy me that almond?
Go make me a drink. Make for the boys, too.
Oh, gee whiz. Okay.
Pilgrims, yeah, that's the place. Real high class. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Merry Christmas, Benny. Boom. Yeah.
Boss, you figure he'll fall for this, you figure?
Sure he would. We get the store to deliver it. How's he going to suspect? Well, how are we going to get him to deliver it, boss? We don't worry about now. It gets delivered. Artie. Mm-hmm. You got the makers for a bomb? Sure. The old-fashioned kind. You know, a lot of broken glass and nails. Sure. What'd he say?
Yeah, he says he can make it.
Oh, okay. Now you take care of that, and I want it day after tomorrow. All right. And you make it a ticker, see, but don't set nothing till we're ready.
Rick, I gotta hand it to you. You're a genius.
Yeah.
You are a genius. Boys, ain't he a genius?
Yeah.
He's
got
the
Christmas spirit, too. It's better to give and to receive. Okay, now shut up. We gotta figure out a plan for the store to deliver it. Yeah, we gotta figure.
Honey lamb, ain't you coming to bed?
No, I ain't coming to bed.
But it's 2:00 a.m. I'm tired.
Go make some coffee.
Honey.
Sandwiches, too. I'm hungry.
Why don't you finish thinking tomorrow so I can get some sleep?
Don't you never think about nothing else but sleeping?
Sure. I've been thinking all day about that ermine and Haugrams I was telling you of.
Baby, oh, baby. I love you, baby. I
love you too, honey lamb. So why don't we just go...
snap out of it, boys. Come on, wake up, Swifty. Hey, wake up. Fellas, I got it. What? Mill is going to get an ermine from Haugrams.
Oh, baby doll, lover.
Get your claws off of me and make some coffee. Now, listen, boys. Here's how we do it.
Gorgeous, honey. Oh, just simply gorgeous.
Feel the pelts, sir. Notice the sheen.
I felt that. I seen it. 2 G's is too much. I'll give you 1,500.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It's been marked down from 32. We positively cannot sell it for under 2,000. Now, we have a nice mink for 1,500.
Oh, Ricky, honey, don't be chintzy. It's Christmas.
Will you shut your mouth and go buy your old lady something? I'll see you at the house.
Ain't you going to buy it? It's so gorgeous.
For 1,500, I'll buy it. For 2, I ain't interested. Now beat it.
Oh, gee. Okay. But don't go buying me no lousy mink. You know it gives me the hives.
She a living doll. Okay, wrap it up.
You'll take the ermine, sir?
Sure, I'm taking. I want to surprise her. Here. 1, 2 G's.
Oh, well, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Would you like it wrapped as a gift for the lady?
Yeah, I want it in the box with lots of ribbon and Xmas junk all over, you know. And I want you should give me another box the same size, see, ribbons and everything. It's going to be kind of an Xmas joke on a pal. You get what I mean? Empty box, you know. Oh, and give me a couple of cards to write on.
Yes, sir. Will you have them sent?
No, I'll take them both with me.
Well, it'll just take a few minutes, sir.
So I'll wait. Hey, Artie, when you got the timer set for it to go off? What'd he say?
He says he got it set for 23 hours. It'll go off at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, what happens if he opens it before? What'd he say?
He says it'll go off anyway.
Oh, that's good. Nice work, Artie. Nice work. Hey, I bet you he opens it. Don't worry, then he ain't got no patience. For instance, he gets a big tree beginning of December. All the trimmings, his pals around him, a couple of cases of old stag. Christmas presents mean something to a guy like that.
It is going to this year, that is for sure.
Okay, here. All right, now you carry it, Swifty, and I'll take the ermine home.
Sure, boss.
Yeah, I got it. Now you know what you got to do.
I am to take the bomb back to the store. There, I'm to find a guy what sold you the ermine.
Yeah, Mr. Minchie.
Minchy?
Yeah.
And I give him the bomb, and I tell him that he's to send it on to Benny.
And you tell him it's the gag that I was talking about. You give him a C-note for doing you the favor, right?
I got it.
Okay. Artie, when you get through cleaning up, come over to my place. We'll play some poker tonight, okay? Yeah. See you, Artie. He's a good boy, that Artie. You know, I'm going to get him one of the new 45s for Xmas.
Hey, that'd be nice, boss. He sure likes it. Me, I like a 38 better. It don't make as big a hole, but it don't weigh you down so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Here, will you hold my box a minute? I want to get a cigarette.
Sure, boss. Boss, look out! It's Benny! Get out!
You are listening to A Present for Benny, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Let's look ahead to 1966, and there you are in your beautiful new home. You've got automatic gadgets everywhere. There's a sparkling new dream car in your garage. The youngsters are in a fine college. All's right with the world. Is this just an idle dream? No, this is a real future that you can start building right now. A secure, carefree, prosperous future built with the United States savings bonds. In 10 years, you will get back $4 for every $3 you've invested. Join the payroll savings plan where you work, or buy bonds where you bank. Start in 1956 to make 1966 the beginning of the golden years.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Jack Crucian, starring in tonight's production, A Present for Benny, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Boss, that was close.
Oh, that's no good, dirty, no good.
Benny, he was not kidding about his getting you.
And me, I wasn't kidding about getting him. I wait 5 minutes, and you take the bomb down the store like I said.
Boss? Which one of you got? You got the bomb or Mills Ullman?
Oh, should I know? You were holding them when we hit the dirt. I just picked one up and we come back in here.
They sure do look alike.
Listen, you stupid dope. You got 'em mixed up the packages?
But boss, what with that chopper going? I just didn't notice.
Oh, I thought I'd give you such a hit. What are we going to do now?
You got me, boss. I guess they weigh about the same, so we cannot tell that way. Boss, maybe we should have put different colored ribbons on them, so as we could tell.
Now you're getting smart. Now he thinks of it. Oh, come on.
We're going back up to Artie's?
Yeah, he'll open them up, find them on with the bomb, and then we'll wrap them up again.
Oh, sure, Rick. Sure.
That's Benny. I should have rubbed him out a long time ago.
You know, boss, I sure wish I could be there and see his face when he opens up the bomb.
Yeah.
You know, it's too bad he will not get time to read the card just to hold his thumb.
Artie, open up. It's Rick.
You got some trouble?
Yeah, we had some trouble. Benny and some of his boys as we was walking out. They missed.
We ain't gonna. Jerky here got the packages mixed up, though. You gotta open them up and see which is which.
Huh?
Well, come on.
Well, you're wrong.
So open it up so it don't blow up.
You can't.
What do you mean you can't? What are you, nuts? How am I gonna know which one you send that rat?
Boss, maybe we could have thrown the bomb in the river. Then it would be okay.
Oh, sure. Oh, boy, what a schnook. We throw the Ermine in the river, too. What? You know which is the bomb?
I forgot that.
On account of you, I'm going to be out 2 G's, and you know what? It comes out of your cut on the next job we do. We got to send both boxes to Benny now.
Boss, maybe the Ermine won't blow up when he does, and then we can take it back from his tomato after he is buried.
Swifty, do me a favor. Stop making me feel so good before I kick your brains in. Now, look, you take them boxes back to the store, get them sent out right away, you hear? I don't want no innocent people hurt when it goes off.
Just leave it to me, boss.
Oh, good, good. What'd he say?
He says you really got a heart, boss.
Oh. And don't neither of you say nothing about the Ermine or Mill, see, or I'll have to get her another one.
Oh, I won't say nothing.
Okay, Swifty, now get going. I'll see you both back at my place.
That you, honey, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, me and Nana was having a game with you, and I couldn't wait for you to get back. Gee, I love you. Did you get it?
What?
The Ermine.
No. Go make me a drink.
Oh, baby lamb. You didn't really? Oh, you're kidding. You're going to make it a surprise.
It ain't going to be no surprise on account of I didn't get it, and go make me a drink. Hey, no nose.
Yeah, boss.
Gee, I bought you a pretty... Oh, well, you're sure going to look like something in it. Oh, wait till you see.
Okay.
Guess what I got you, guess.
Look, I don't feel like no games. It's been a tough day. I'm tired. Do me a favor, make me a drink, then go to a movie or something, will you?
Gee.
Yeah, Rick? Where was I? Oh, yeah. Look, you better call the rest of the boys and tell them that Benny's our gunner for us. Tell them to stay hid out until they hear from me, see, and I don't want no trouble with the DA. He's up for re-election.
You got Benny's present sent off okay, huh?
Yeah. Boy, when he croaks, he'll die laughing if he opens the other box first.
The other box?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it when Mill's gone out. Yeah.
Boss, this is Swifty.
Yeah?
You've got nothing to worry about. Everything is taken care of. The stuff goes off the first thing in the morning.
Okay, come on back.
Sure, Rick. I just thought that you should like to know. So long.
Artie, what do you call these?
What?
I asked for 3-minute boiled. These ain't even born yet. Ain't you never going to learn how to boil an egg?
I'll fix you some more.
I ain't hungry. Forget it. Artie, what time is it?
Look, huh? No, it ain't, Artie. It's 1:30, boss.
Benny should have got the bomb by now.
Boss, you want I should call him and kind of ask after his help?
No. If he ain't got it yet, he might get suspicious. Oh, boy, this waiting. You know, it's making a nervous wretch out of me.
Take it easy. It'll go off.
If you don't want eggs, honey, how about some nice hot coffee, lover?
Okay.
You'll feel better when you see what I've got for you. They're sending it today.
Yeah, okay.
Should I open it, boss?
Yeah, I'll cover you.
Oh, you're so nervous all of a sudden this morning, honey.
All right, I'm nervous.
So who is it? No nose.
I'll let him in.
Yeah, what do you say, boss?
What's in the package?
Oh, this? Well, it just come up for you from Holgram's. Elevator was bringing it up.
Oh, now don't you spoil it, honey lamb. That's my present to you. You can take the wrapping paper off, but you can't open the box. We gotta put it under the tree when we get the tree.
Hey, boss. That box looks awful familiar.
Yeah. Mill, you sure you bought this yesterday?
Sure, I'm sure.
Looks just like the ones we sent to Benny, don't it? Same size, same ribbon, same everything. It kind of makes you wonder.
Don't be silly. They got millions of boxes like this. Oh, it happens there's something very special in there for my sweetie lamb.
What's in it?
Go ahead and open it. Go ahead.
No, I'll wait. I ain't like Benny. I can wait.
Oh, honey, you open it. It's okay. I'll get you something else to open on Christmas.
Oh, sure. Why not, boss? You need something to make you feel good.
I feel good now. I don't want to feel no better.
Oh, and I thought you'd like it so much, you'd go with me and maybe buy a chinchilla they got on sale at Holgram's. It's only $1,500, just what you wanted to pay for the ointment. I like chinchilla.
Come on, boss, open it up. Open.
All right, I'll open it. Hey, Swifty, go get it.
Sure, boss.
Oh, I can't wait for the lid to come off.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah? Yeah, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Boss? It's that guy at the store, Hargrim.
Momenci?
Yeah.
You want me to open it for you, honey?
No. Yeah?
Mr. McQueen?
Yeah.
This is Mr. Minchy in the fur department at Halgrim's.
So?
Mr. McQueen, I'm terribly sorry, but I think there's been a mistake.
What kind of mistake? What do you mean?
Well, a little confusion, but I'm sure it can be easily rectified. Your wife bought something for you yesterday, which was to be delivered this morning.
Yeah, it's already come.
Yes, well, there seems to have been an error made in the shipping department, a matter of mislaid address slips. Now, I wonder if you'd mind opening the package which you just received. Or perhaps, since it's a Christmas parcel and a surprise for you, no doubt, your wife would rather do it.
Well, why? What's wrong with it?
Well, you see, those 2 boxes which your man brought in yesterday afternoon haven't gone out yet. They were to be sent to Mr. Benjamin Mollusk, I believe it is.
Yeah?
I think the gift which you have is one of those, and, well, yours is his. That is, if you follow me. Now, if you'd open it, I'm sure...
Boss, there's something wrong?
Hey, you're pale. You sick? What's the time?
It's 1:45.
Ain't you going to open your present?
Don't nobody touch that box. It's loaded. The bomb? Yeah, the bomb.
Well, of course, it could have been this...
You shut up, Swifty. I got enough trouble without her hearing that.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, you get that thing out of here. Get it down to the store. They got to send a special messenger. Let him send all 3 boxes to that punk Benny. Well, what do I care? Maybe I should send him a Cadillac to go with it. You know what I think? I think it'd be cheaper to kill myself. Hey, what's the time?
10:04, baby.
Where's that Swifty?
Don't worry, he'll be here.
Maybe Benny got him. Yeah, maybe I should have sent you and Artie with him. Get it, Artie. Don't know some meal cover you.
Yes, it's me, Artie. Swifty. Open up. Boss, I have got it all straightened out. Everything is okay. Boy, don't dope those guys down at the store.
What's that?
This? Oh, this is your present that Mill got for you. I told you they have got it all straightened out okay now. You know how it's Christmas rush, everybody's meshuggah, you know? So now they have found the right slips, wrapped up the boxes again, and Benny's presents have been delivered right now, and this is yours.
You're sure this time, are you sure?
Boy, would I make a lie out of myself? This box you can open, I guarantee it.
Yeah, 'cause you might not like the color I got you. So I wish you would open it. And if it ain't right, we can take it back this afternoon and you can change it and maybe take a look at chinchillas I was telling you about.
Yeah, this time I'm going to wait. When Benny blows up, I open it. What's the time?
That's 2 minutes to 4.
You sure? Is your watch right?
Well, boss, I just called the tomato on the telephone that gives you the time.
Honey Pot, you're too nervous. This ain't like you. Here, I'll open it for you.
Mill, you quit that.
Oh, boss.
Oh, sure. Take it easy, boss. You're all right.
Oh, I bet you're just going to love it. I just bet.
It's about Benny. He opened it. What do you bet?
Bam! Right through the wall.
Yeah?
Rick, this is Machine Gun Benny.
Benny.
Listen, pal, I feel like a dirty rat. That's what I feel like, a dirty rat. When I think what I tried to do to you yesterday, and all the time you was making never minds with the presents, which I and my girl are right now wearing. I tell you, I could eat mud.
Yeah.
She says she never seen such a diamond. And the robe, oh, it's the greatest. Oh, pal, I am a heel. But it ain't too late to change. Hey, what do you say we bury the hatchet, eh?
Yeah.
I'll split with you on them furs I hijacked from you. And we're partners, you and me. Run the town together. What do you say, eh?
Yeah.
All right. So, you and Mill and your boys come on over and partake of some Xmas cheer. You hear me, boy? You're a great guy, Rick. The greatest. So long, pal. Merry Xmas.
So long.
Benny, huh?
Yeah. This one's the bomb? Yeah. Too bad. What's the time?
It's 3 minutes after 4.
3 after. Artie, the time has come and gone. How come it didn't go off? Come on, Cliff. What do you say?
He says he did not want to blow nobody up so near to Christmas.
Then what's in the box? I'll go show. Huh?
He's going to show it.
Suspense, in which Jack Crucian starred in tonight's presentation of A Present for Benny. Next week, a charming fantasy about a small boy who discovered a new world and lived forever after in its enchantment. We call it The Cave. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis, who also wrote tonight's script. The music was composed by Rene Garrigan and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Stacey Harris, Eve McVeigh, Benny Rubin, Junius Matthews, and Joseph Kearns.
Time's growing short for the youngsters to write to Bing Crosby. The deadline for postmarked letters is Thursday, December 15th, midnight. All your youngster has to do is write a letter to Bing telling what Christmas means to me. Then mail it to Bing Crosby, CBS Radio, Hollywood 28, California. The winner will read his letter in person when America Sings with Bing, Christmas Eve on CBS Radio. All youngsters 12 years of age and under are eligible. That address once again, Bing Crosby, CBS Radio, Hollywood 28, California. Be sure the young letter writer puts his name and address on the letter. Stay tuned now for 5 minutes of CBS Radio News to be followed on most of these same stations by The Jack Carson Show. Thrill to Gunsmoke every Saturday and Sunday on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, in answer to many requests, we bring back a charming fantasy about a small boy who discovered a new world and lived forever after in its enchantment. We call it The Cave. So now, starring Richard Beals with Billy Chapin, here is tonight's suspense play, The Cave.
It's on days like this that I remember how it used to be before I found the cave. This day in particular. Of course, it's hard to see everything as it really was. Time has a habit of distorting the memories. Memories. Christmas. Christmas Day. What a long time ago that was. I was 10, and an unpopular uncle had distinguished himself by giving me a flashlight. It was enormous. 4 batteries, and a most incredible gleam to its metal case. I couldn't wait to try it out. And because it was still early afternoon, I could think of only one place that was dark enough for the exciting test. The cave. The big cave, whose mouth was near the sand dunes, and whose recess was rumored to be miles deep. George Fennell and I had never ventured more than 200 yards or so inside. But on that Christmas afternoon, I knew that the cold darkness of the cave would have no fears for George and me. We met near the dunes, as arranged, to compare notes on our respective Christmas presents. It was quite warm, and the snow was beginning to melt in patches. A few gulls were wheeling about nearby. It was as I have remembered it all my life.
That's keen. Listen, I'd better work like a searchlight tonight.
I guess it would, all right.
Maybe they'll let us stay up tonight if it doesn't get too cold, and we could play pirates. I could use my new gun.
I thought we might go in the cave this afternoon.
Hey, that's keen. Uh-oh. Maybe they'll get sore. I had to get all dressed up today.
We won't get dirty. Besides, we could go a real long way inside with this.
I wouldn't want to go in too far. They say the cave goes off in a lot of tunnels. We could get lost.
Maybe if you haven't got a flashlight.
Sure, that's right. And with my gun... Sure, we can explore. Come on. I'll race you to the cave.
I won the race, and we stood at the entrance of the big cave. The arch had a span of about 25 feet, but just inside it widened until the walls were 70 feet apart and the ceiling over 50. As we passed from sunlight to shadow, I turned for a moment and looked down to the sea. At the water's edge, a gull stood motionless, looking up at us. Then, solemnly, as though with disapproval, it too turned about and gazed out over the water. The opening of the cave receded and became small, and we went deeper and deeper.
Hey, shine it up there, Dan. Way up.
Okay.
Gee, I'll bet that's high.
Oh, a mile, I guess.
You're silly. Maybe 100 feet. Boy, that's keen. Sounds like a real gun.
Come on. Looks like the cave turns down there. See?
Okay, but we better not go too far.
You scared?
Heck no, but, well, I gotta get back for dinner. They'll be awful sore if I'm late.
You won't be late. Come on. I want to see what's around there.
Okay. Hold the light on my gun. I gotta reload. Fish? Whoever heard of fish in a stream like this? Where'd they come from? Where?
I don't know. They say there are fish in caves sometimes. Flying fish.
You're silly.
Well, what are you stopping for, George?
We gotta go back now.
Why?
Because it's late. Besides, how do you know which tunnel we took? How? Maybe we could get lost.
Listen, George, maybe if we kept on going, we'll find treasure in here.
Treasure?
Stands to reason. Maybe like in the pirate book. Somebody came here and buried treasure. Henry Morgan or somebody.
No.
Sure, stands to reason. Everybody's like you. They say no, but just suppose. If no one's looked, how would they know?
I think we better get back. Maybe tomorrow we can look. The cave's getting awful narrow.
We might even find old pirates' bones and swords.
You've got too much imagination. I've heard them saying so at home. I don't want to go any further.
Well, I'm going to.
Okay, give me the flashlight.
No. You want to go back? You go back. In the dark.
Oh, I don't want to go back. You go back in the dark. They'll be mad. It's late.
Well, just for a little while. If we don't find anything, we'll go back.
All right, but only a little while.
Well, I'm thirsty.
You better not drink out of that water. It's probably poison.
Oh, why? Here, hold the light. I'm going to have a drink.
There you are. See? I told you. Now you'll probably die. It's poison.
No, it's salt. It's like the ocean.
Hey, look.
What?
There, coming down the stream. That white thing.
Yeah.
Looks like a piece of paper.
I'm going to get it. Hold on to my hand.
You'll fall in.
No. I got it.
What is it?
Oh, looks like a handkerchief.
That's silly. It's too small. Who uses a handkerchief like that?
Well, my mother does.
Gee, hate to blow my nose on that. You can almost see through it.
How'd it get down here?
Who cares?
Maybe it's a message.
Huh?
Like from someone in distress.
I'm going home.
Like a damsel in distress in the pirate book. We've got to find out. Give me my flashlight. We'll follow the stream.
We followed the stream. We walked by it as the cave twisted and curved. We didn't notice the passageway, which had been getting smaller all the time, suddenly widen out, and the stream, which was becoming a river, and the river was a river.
Hey.
What?
Where's the other side of the water?
There isn't any. It keeps going. It's like a lake.
Or maybe a sea. There's little waves.
Dan?
Huh?
Turn the light around.
The walls have gone. There's no walls.
There must be. It's a cave.
Hey, there's no top to it either.
It's just too high to see, that's all. Let's go home. Let's go home right now.
Oh, what are you afraid of?
I'm not. But I'm hungry, and it's Christmas. And, well, I've got things to play with. Come on, Dan. Come on. I want to get outside. What'd you do that for? Turn on the light. Turn it on.
Don't you notice something?
Turn that on. Give it to me.
Oh, wait a minute. I want you to see something.
Give it to me. I'm not going to play with you. Give it.
See what you've done? You dropped it in the water.
It's all your fault. I didn't want to come here anyway. How are you going to get back? It's dark.
No, it isn't. That's what I wanted you to see. Look up there.
I don't see anything.
You will.
Oh, it's like stars. Way up there.
That's what it is. It's stars.
We stood there, George and I, 10 years old, and for a moment no longer afraid because of the wonder of the thing. There was light from a sky I knew I had never seen before. Yet I knew I was still in the big cave, because when I spoke, the echo of my voice returned.
It's beautiful.
I can't find the flashlight. The water's too deep.
That's funny.
You're always saying that. It's not going to be funny when you can't get home.
Listen. Dan! Dan! Now you do it.
What for? It's just an old echo.
Go on.
George! George!
There. How can there be an echo when there's no cave anymore?
You're just trying to scare me. Well, I'm going. You can come too if you want. Dan, please?
I'll bet nobody's ever been in here ever. I'll bet we're the first. Except for pirates, maybe. Oh, I wish we could see more.
If my mother hadn't taken our matches away, we could find our way out. Gee, Dan, it's night. Come on, please. I'm hungry. Somebody's here. Somebody else.
Sounds like it's over there.
No, don't go, Dan. Dan, I'm scared. I don't like this place.
Well, go home if you want. I can see someone. Look. Gee, he's digging in the sand.
Let's not go any closer, Dan.
Let go of me. I want to see what he's doing.
No. Look.
There's some other people. They got swords.
Aha! I caught you, Namby, you scurvy wretch. Look at him, bully.
Captain, I just wanted to see if the treasure was still there. Scoot, Sergeant.
I'll show you what's there, you pot-bellied toad.
Touching the treasure, don't kill me.
Kill you? I haven't started to kill you yet, Namby. Come on, bullies, lay on. We'll exercise our appetites for the feast.
You are listening to The Cave, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
A new superhighway, a throughway, attracts the bad as well as the good, as you well know if you've driven along a superhighway recently. But it's not the speeders and reckless drivers the FBI goes after tomorrow night on CBS Radio. It's a smooth schemer and swindler who's in operation as soon as a new superhighway is announced. He's cooked up a lovely plan for getting farmers and other landowners along the proposed right-of-way to fall for his tricks. The resulting story is timely and essential. Hear it tomorrow night when the FBI in Peace and War comes this way on most of these same stations. And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Richard Beals with Billy Chapin, starring in tonight's production, The Cave, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
In that faint light from the stars of another world, the world of the big cave, George and I watched. We could only see shadows until someone lit a lantern. And then I knew I'd been right.
Pirates! I want to go home.
Pirates they were, the most glorious, the gaudiest pirates to sail under the Jolly Roger. The leader was a huge man with a fine, bushy beard and a voice like the trombone in the village band.
How shall we cook him, bullies? Rile to steel.
No, Captain, no.
Now he's too tough a morsel for that, Captain. I says roast him.
Roast it'll be.
There's nothing like roast Namby, I always say. Oh, no.
But we'll cut out his heart first and feed it to the dog. Namby, you lily-livered aggravation. Say your prayer.
He's going to kill him. I don't want to watch, Dan. Dan?
Shut up.
Who was that?
I don't know, Captain.
Sounded like a boy.
A boy? A boy?
Mayhap it was the Lady Alicia.
Bill, she be in the dungeon, Gonfalon.
Aye, that's true.
It came from over there. Hold the lantern high, Sheriff.
Aye, Captain.
They'll get us, Dan. We've got to run.
Don't be afraid. If you're not afraid, nothing can happen.
Do you see anything, Gonfalon?
Oh, now it's but... Save us all. 'Tis a boy.
Nay, 'tis two on them.
Scuppery! Boy! Hold the little demon. Boy! Two small boys.
And now what shall we do with them, Captain?
Hang him, I say. Hang him. They be after the treasure.
You! Were it not Christmas, Namby, I should have turned you inside out. Hold your blister bladdering jaw, you.
Aye, Captain, sir. Aye.
Boy. Boy, what's your name?
Dan Embry, sir.
And that one?
George. He's my friend, George. George Fennel. His father's a policeman.
Where do you come from, boy?
Greenfield. That's outside the cave.
Cave? What cave? What do you do here? Whose spies be? Answer up now.
We were just exploring, and we got here, that's all.
Exploring? Where be your ship?
We didn't come in a ship.
No ship?
They're boys, Captain. What harm can they do? Come, it's Christmas. I say feed them and send them on their way.
What's Christmas got to do with it? If they be spies, it's the plank.
No, we're not spies, honest.
We'll look into this further. Meantime, the goose and suckling pig should be ready. I say it's time for the feast. How say you, buddy? Be a hungry boy.
Yes?
And him.
He's hungry, too.
Then join us on a Merry Christmas. For no man can say Captain Blackton lacks the Christian spirit. Am I right, Namby?
Oh, you're right, Captain. Right as a rail.
I'd have slit your gullet if you said me nay. Merry Christmas, and break out the rum.
I remember that day, that long ago. The great dining board set upon trestles, the fruits and wine, roast goose and pig, the pirates, rough in their colorful patched clothing, the songs and drinking, stories of home and sea. Such Christmases are dreamt of, and I had dreamed it to come true. George sat next to me, eyes wide and unbelieving. After the plum pudding, we were called upon to sing a carol.
Silent night, holy night.
As we sang, they became quiet, and each sat lost with his own thoughts of sweetness and sadness. The little man, Namby, bird-like and asleep. Don Fallon, thin as a twig, a patch over one eye, the other kindly and wise. Schill and the captain, tears coursing down their cheeks. These were my pirates, my own.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
Well done, I say. Well done. A double rum for the boy.
Captain, this been a happy day with us. Let's share it with those less fortunate.
Less fortunate? Who? We are all well met.
Well, the Lady Alicia.
Nay, she be our prisoner. And until ransom be paid, so she will remain.
Oh, what matter if she graced our table for the evening? It's been a long time since a woman has been with us.
Very well. Send the prisoner here. Fetch her from the dungeon.
Then I thought of the fine lace handkerchief we had found in the stream. Would this prisoner, the Lady Alicia, would she have sent the message of distress? And how? They brought her in, and to me, she looked as she should have looked. The most beautiful lady in the world, gowned in silks, with a pale but proud face. I fell in love with her, and I was 10. As the night wore on, the pirates grew drowsy, and one after another their heads drooped, and soon all were asleep. Even George, sitting small in his great chair, nodded. I went to the Lady Alicia's side.
It was your handkerchief we found in the stream, wasn't it?
Yes, I had not dared to hope.
But they have you locked in a dungeon.
Beyond my window is a running brook. I prayed that when I dropped the kerchief, it would by some happy chance be discovered.
Well, I found it all right.
You are very brave to have come here.
Well, how long have they kept you prisoner?
6 months now. We were sailing to the Indies. Our ship was taken, and I alone survived. Now they hold me for ransom.
Oh, that's terrible. Gosh, I wish I could do something to save you.
There is nothing.
Oh, I know I'm not very big, but maybe I could fight them.
There are too many for you.
Dad, they're all asleep. Come on, we can get away now. Let's go home.
Home?
Sure. Our folks are going to be mad.
Oh, George, we've got to save her.
If you could but escape and deliver a message to my father.
Sure, okay. Where does he live?
London. Lord Basingstoke. He would reward you well.
Sure, but we gotta go now.
I don't want to leave you. They'll be angry when they wake up.
My hope will rest in you. I shall pray for your safety and return.
Gee whiz, Dan, come on.
You go ahead. I'll be right along.
Okay, but hurry up. I'll wait by the water.
Will you be all right?
Yes.
Suppose I come back and you're not here.
I shall try to leave a message.
I'm Dan.
I know.
When I get older, I shall marry you. You're beautiful.
I'll wait for you. Now you must go before they awake.
I don't want to go.
You will come back to me here.
I love you.
Hurry up, Dan. Gee whiz. I want to get home. They'll be mad. Mother said not to be late for dinner.
We've got to save Lady Alicia. Don't forget.
Okay. But hurry up.
It's kind of dark, but I know which way to go.
I don't want to fall in the stream and get all wet. I've got my good clothes on.
You won't.
I'm sorry I dropped your flashlight in. I'll save up and get you another.
I don't mind.
I'll bet it's awful late. I'm glad it's Christmas. Maybe they won't mind.
We followed the tunnels, one to the other. The stream flowed with us, urging us on. It was dark, but I knew the way. We felt along the damp walls of the cave, and at every step we moved further away from my world. Suddenly, from a great distance, we saw a tiny circle of light, a dot, which grew and grew until it was the size of a golden sovereign.
There it is, Dan. It's the entrance, and it's still light out. I won't be late for dinner.
And I was afraid. I was afraid because I knew that when I stepped out into that sunlight, I should never be able to find my way back again. Never.
Hey, what are you stopping for? Why?
George?
If we can run, we can make it home before the sun goes down. For Pete's sakes, Dan, what's the matter with you?
I'm not coming with you. I've got to go back.
Go back? What do you want to do that for?
I've got to. I don't want to leave her. The pirates. I want to go back.
Pirates? Who?
The Lady Alicia.
Gee whiz, Dan, come on. It's only a game. Come on.
You've forgotten. I knew you would. I'm not going with you.
You better. I'll tell your mother, and you get it.
Goodbye, George.
Dan? Dan, come back, Dan. What's the matter with you? Dan? You'll get lost, Dan. Dan, don't go in there. We've played long enough. Come back. Come back, Dan. Dan. Hey, Dan.
I had turned away from George and the speck of light that was outside. His voice had followed me, plaintive and lonely. Then, as I found the stream again, there was no sound but that of gentle water and my own steps. And the stream became a river, and the river broadened. The walls of the cave fell away, and I'd found my pirates again. It's on days like this that I remember how it used to be before I found the cave. This day in particular. Sometimes I wonder what happened to George and what it's like outside the cave. But I don't really mind. After all, the Lady Lycia kept her promise and waited for me until I grew up. Now everything is as I'd always dreamed it in the books. Oh, Captain Blackton? He's still here. A little less ferocious, perhaps, than 20 years ago.
Captain?
Yes, Blackton?
If you and milady are ready, sir, the turkeys be cooked and the men wait in your pleasure.
Very well, Blackton. Thank you. And a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you, sir. And a Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Suspense, in which Richard Beals with Billy Chapin starred in tonight's presentation of The Cave. Next week, we bring you one of the great mysteries of the sea, a ship found drifting in perfect condition with no human aboard. We call it The Mystery of the Marie Celeste. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis, who also wrote tonight's script. The music was composed by Rene Garrigang and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Hans Conried, Ben Wright, Lawrence Dobkin, Ellen Morgan, and Raymond Lawrence.
Next Saturday, Christmas Eve, the whole nation is invited to the largest carol services ever held. CBS Radio is bringing you its great star, Bing Crosby, in a full hour of the beloved Christmas hymns and songs and airs from olden times to the present. You and your family are cordially invited to gather around your own Christmas tree as millions of other families gather around their trees and sing with this wonderful balladeer. From points all over the country and the world, Bing will also bring you the Yuletide songs of special localities and foreign nations. Next Saturday, Christmas Eve, as America sings with Bing on most of these same CBS radio stations, you and your family join in. Stay tuned now for 5 minutes of CBS Radio News, to be followed on most of these same stations by The Jack Carson Show. America's favorite shows on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you one of the great mysteries of the sea, a ship found drifting in perfect condition, but with no human aboard. We call it The Mystery of the Mary Celeste. So now, starring John Daner, here is tonight's suspense play, The Mystery of the Mary Celeste.
On December 9th, 1872, the American brigantine Mary Celeste was discovered adrift and derelict close off the coast of North Africa. She had sustained some storm damage, but she was still an able ship. Her sails were set, her cargo was intact, conditions in her cabins and forecastle seemed normal. There was no evidence of violence. Yet not a sign was found of the crew that had manned her. Officers, men, and the captain's wife had vanished, and no acceptable explanation of their disappearance has ever been advanced. Perhaps this is that story. It would start in New York City's Harbor District on the night of November 7th, 1872, the eve of the Mary Celeste's departure from that same harbor.
Stop or I'll shoot! Stop or I'll shoot!
What is it, officer? What's the matter?
Did you see a man running past this way?
No, I didn't see anybody. I heard the shot. Who is it you're after?
He just killed some people.
Listen. What?
Thought I heard something. But I don't now.
Who did the man kill?
A young girl. And the man she was with. And then he killed the girl's mother. He's a maniac that we've got to get. I'll look down this way.
Well, I'll help if I can.
All right. 4 men from the force will be here shortly.
I didn't remember killing her mother. Grace I killed because I couldn't help it. The man because he came after me when Grace was down. But I never meant to kill her mother. And when I heard that I had, I wondered if the officer was right. And then I was insane. There was not time to think of it then. Only time to think of getting away. And through that night I searched for a ship that was leaving soon, and one that was badly guarded so I could slip aboard. When I found her, she was the Mary Celeste, and the drunken deck watch stayed in his sleep until I was hidden in number 2 hold. There I passed 2 days in a dream, neither fully awake nor asleep, but always thinking of the horror I had done. And I knew that escape was wrong, and that I could never be sane until I cleared my soul of it. On the 3rd morning, I proceed to make my presence aboard known so that I can go to the captain and tell him of my crime and take the consequences I so richly deserve. I climb to the deck and am immediately seen by a crewman.
Lindley, look. Who's that?
Who are you, mister, and what are you doing aboard?
My name is Sam Newcomb, and I want to talk to your captain.
You'll talk to him right enough, whether you want to or not. How'd you get on board?
You'll be lucky if you didn't stand the 12-4 watch your last night in port, because that's when it was.
You're uppity for a stowaway, aren't you? You're no better than a thief.
I admit that. I want no trouble with you. Please, take me to the captain. I'll talk to him and no one else.
You take him, Bowl. I'd better stay forward.
Come on, Newcomb. If you're going to make the rest of the trip with us, you better drop your airs or there'll be trouble.
I don't have any airs. I don't think you'll be troubled with my company.
Oh, you mean you don't think you'll quarter with the crew?
No.
You expect to be with the officers like an honored guest?
No.
Where then?
I don't know.
You act like you're daft.
Don't you say that.
You what?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I want to talk to you, Captain.
You watch what you do or say, you'll be over the side. Here.
Yes, come.
Watch your language. The skipper's wife is in the next cabin aft. Well, who's this? He just came out of number 2 hold, sir. His name's Sam Newcomb. Got aboard on the 12 to 4 watch hour last night in.
Hubbard's watch. He'll answer for it. Well, Newcomb, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'd like it if I could talk to you alone, sir.
Well, that's all, Bough. Tell Hubbard I'll want to see him as soon as he's off watch.
Yes, sir.
You realize, Newcomb, that you've committed a crime by boarding this ship without permission. And probably without passport or any other papers, I suppose.
I know, sir, but when I tell you why... I'm not a bad man, sir. Nothing like this ever happened before, but something drove me. I didn't know what I was doing.
Another one who's always wanted to go to sea, I suppose.
Oh, no, sir. I've been sailing for 10 years. I'm an able hand. I came aboard because I had to get away.
You're in trouble?
Yes, sir. I don't think it was my fault, but... Oh, I am wrong.
What kind of trouble?
Well, there was a girl, sir, who I was in love with. I don't know what came over me, but...
Yes? What'd you do to her?
I found her with another man, and... I just had to get away, sir.
Lovesick, eh? Well, that doesn't condone...
Ben?
Oh, yes, my dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you talking.
Yes. This is Mr. Newcomb. He came aboard illegally the night before we left.
Well, where has he been? It's 3 days.
In number 2 hold, ma'am.
Have you had food and water?
No, ma'am.
Why haven't you come to us before this?
I don't know, ma'am.
He was going to tell me why he came aboard.
I don't suppose it's important to anyone but me. I felt that I had to get away, and...
It was a girl.
I almost guessed that. A broken heart?
I thought it was. I know it sounds silly, but to me it seemed awfully serious, and I couldn't think of another way to leave as quickly as I wanted to.
Yes. Well, there's no way I can allow an affair of the heart to influence what I must do in this case. By reputation, I'm a fair and lenient man.
Well, I'm a seaman, sir. I could work my way.
I'm not so sure you deserve the chance.
Whatever you say, sir.
Ben.
Oh, please, Grace.
Grace?
What's the matter with you?
Nothing, sir.
My name. Grace is the name of the girl.
Yes, ma'am. It was learning that the captain's wife was aboard that made me change my mind about telling him the truth. When I talked to him, especially after his wife came, everything was turned about. It was as though I was the captain and the stowaway was someone else. It was as though my wife, my Grace, had come in from the next cabin, and together we talked to this stowaway. And we felt sorry for him and wanted to be kind to him. The wife can't be more than 3 or 4 years older than I, and I feel close to her right away. I think that even if she doesn't know what I've done, she understands me. It is a good feeling to have one friend on the ship. Through her, please, I am sure I am not restrained, and instead sent to take my place with the crew in their forecastle.
Well, what are you doing here? Couldn't you find a better place to quarter?
I was told where to come.
Hubbard. Wake up. He's the one came aboard during your watch.
Huh?
What did you figure you'd be fined, Hubbard? A week's pay?
Yeah, that's right. Newcomb, huh?
Yes.
Why'd you come aboard?
I wanted to get away from New York.
Man's got to have a better reason than that. You running away from the police?
No.
What then?
Well, it wouldn't interest you. It's not important.
It's important to me. And I want you to know how I feel about it. Are you going to get up?
No. I want no trouble with any of you.
You don't want any trouble. You caused me trouble, haven't you? I'll be called up in front of the captain because of you.
That's done. There's no way I can change it.
We got 3 weeks before we make Naples. You'll pay for it. I'll see to that.
Through the following days, I knew no peace. There were 4 deckhands and a first officer, and although I had reason to fight because of the way they beat me and used me, I did not. I was afraid of my own violence now that I had killed. The one named Hubbard was the worst. His eyes were always on me, and I wondered why. There was a night when I woke to find him bending over my bunk. He was smiling, and from that moment on, even in sleep, I felt him watching me. On another night, I am on deck. I'm crossing from port to starboard, and when I pass under the main yard, a marlinspike falls from aloft and sticks in the planks beside me, narrowly missing my head. I look up to see Hubbard smiling down at me from the rigging. I try to avoid him, but he drops to the deck to face me.
I dropped my spike.
I know you did.
What are you going to do about it?
Nothing.
You take more than any man I've ever known, Newcomb.
I'm not proud of that. But why do you keep after me? Why don't you leave me alone?
Because I'm a curious man. I want to know truly why you're on this ship. Your story to the captain about trouble with some woman just doesn't sit right.
It's the truth.
Not all of it.
Why do you say that?
Anybody ever tell you you talk in your sleep?
You are listening to The Mystery of the Mary Celeste, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
We all have treasured possessions, keepsakes, and mementos which are irreplaceable regardless of cost. You'd be heartsick if you lost yours, yet probably you are risking their loss by fire every day through carelessness. So CBS Radio reminds you, don't give fire a place to start. Be sure all cigarettes are out before discarding them. Clear your house of old newspapers, damaged furniture, and inflammable debris. Repair electrical wiring as soon as it shows signs of wear. These simple rules will keep your valuables safe. They could even save your life.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage John Daner, starring in tonight's production, The Mystery of the Mary Celeste, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I had never been told that I talked in my sleep until the one named Hubbard said I did. He may have been lying, but I could not chance that. Therefore, I carefully abstained from regular sleeping habits, allowing myself short naps only when I knew that Hubbard was at the helm or some other ship's business that he could not leave. The horror that I had done became a secret that pressed against my head, wanting escape. But I held it in, and I took the abuse of the men aboard. The only kindness and relaxation I find are during the moments when I chance to meet the captain's wife. Off watch one night, when it is not safe to sleep, I am alone, taking a cup of tea in the galley when she comes in. Oh, Mrs. Briggs.
Why, Mr. Newcomb, I've been thinking of you. I haven't seen... Oh, you look ill. Is something wrong?
Nothing, ma'am. Oh, my sleep has not been so good.
And your cheek is bruised.
Oh.
What happened?
No, nothing serious. Some trouble with the other hands.
Have you told the captain?
No.
Why not? I shall.
No, please, don't. I've caused enough trouble. I wouldn't want there to be any more.
May I have some tea, Mr. Newcomb?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I think you're a very kind man, Mr. Newcomb.
Oh, you do?
Yes. To protect the other hands, for one thing. They're a rough lot, I know.
They're no worse than most men, ma'am.
You're very unhappy, aren't you? This girl, Grace. I know this is hard for you to understand, but really, no one girl is worth ruining your life for. Not even losing sleep for.
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you'd stop calling me ma'am. Perhaps if you did, you could talk to me about this girl. I think it would do you good, don't you?
I don't know.
Tell me about her. I'm sure she's quite beautiful.
Well, I thought so.
And you plan to be married?
Yes.
But she changed her mind.
Well, she was never sure. She was ambitious for me.
That's natural.
And I disappointed her like I did my family, my mother, everybody. I'm always thinking that I'm doing my best, but I always disappoint people.
But what did she want you to be, this girl?
Oh, a ship's master like your husband. We dreamed of the day she could sail with me like you do on this ship.
You mustn't lose faith in yourself. It took my husband years to get his papers.
There are no years for me anymore.
She wouldn't wait.
No, she wouldn't wait. You must have waited, but she wouldn't. She promised to wait, but she didn't. She never understood that it took time. She was ambitious, and she pushed me for my officer's papers, and I failed. My family pushed me, too, when I wasn't ready, and they made me fail. And I went away, a 6-month trip to South America. I tried to jump overboard, and they stopped me. And I got back and found her married to a ship's captain. And her mother was there, laughing at me. I tried to tell them that I was happy about it. Then Grace smiled at me, and something happened. I was only going to kill her. I didn't even know the others were there. I hit her, and when she went down, the man came after me, and I hit him, too. And when you get in a mix-up like that, you just don't know what you're doing. And time means nothing. It's like everything else. And then her mother. I don't remember that. But she's dead, too, and then they blame me. Maybe I did. Miss Briggs, where are you going?
Stay away from me.
Oh, no, you've been nice to me. Why did it have to be you that I told everything? No, please, and I like you. Why did it have to be you? No, I don't want to kill you. I never wanted to kill anybody.
Let me go.
No, please, I won't hurt you. You've been nice to me.
Stay away from me.
I won't touch you. I won't touch you. But you got to promise. You won't tell. I don't know why I said those things. They aren't true. I get mixed up. I dream things and then they seem real after I wake up. That's why I'm such a liar. I always lie. Nothing I told you was the truth. Nothing. Do you believe that?
Yes. Yes.
You won't tell anybody what I said?
I won't tell anyone.
Oh, I'm glad. Now, come, Mrs. Briggs, finish your tea. We'll talk about something else.
No, I've got to go to my cabin.
Mrs. Briggs! Don't tell. I knew she would tell, and so I hid. I went back to number 2 hold where I had felt safe before. I don't know how much time passed. There they find me. I see their lantern as they come closer. The truth is out, and there is no place for me to go. So I stand up and wait.
Captain, I hear him, I think. Yes, Albert. Keep your pistol ready. We'll have to be careful. Yes, sir.
There he is, sir. Come out of there, Newcomb. Keep your lantern down, Hubbard. Keep us out of the light. He's dangerous.
I won't cause any trouble, sir.
Get him out of there.
I won't cause any trouble.
It's all right, sir. He's down.
The dirty scum. Lock him up.
I am not sure how many days passed, but I found comfort in being locked up because I could sleep without the fear of Hubbard leaning over me, listening for what I might say. Then there was one night when shouting on deck woke me up. I couldn't hear the words being in the middle of the ship, but soon the shouting stopped, and there was silence. It was a new silence that I studied for a long time. I heard no footsteps on the deck. I heard no voices. I heard no creaking timbers. It was a dead ship. I wait for the one daily meal that they allow me. No one comes. And then I shout. Let me out! Let me out of here! Somebody come! Let me out! If one were insane, he would surely break at a moment like that. I was locked up and alone on a ship that was held motionless as if gripped by some great hand. But I did not break. I dismantled my bunk and from the wood and fashioned a ram with which I attacked the door. The task of freeing myself consumed most of the day. And such was my concentration that I didn't realize the exact moment that the ship began moving, as if the great hand had released its grip and set her free. And I was free. I come out on deck to find a cloudless sky and empty sea horizons all around, as if I am alone in the world. The wheel spinning idly with no one to attend it. I lash it after fitting a new course to the sail she is wearing. The whole ship is mine. I am master and crew. And I have found peace and well-being, as if I'd been absolved of any wrongs I ever did. Because what, if not Providence, held the ship that night and sent the others to certain death in the endless sea? What, if not kind Providence, decided that I alone would survive? The meek and humble shall inherit the earth. This narrative I swear to be true. And on this second day of December, the year of our Lord, 1872, I hereby sign it and seal it in a bottle to be delivered to the ocean currents, in the hope that someday it will drift back to the hated world from which I am forever parted.
According to scientific theory, a strange phenomenon takes place now and again off the coast of Africa near where the Mary Celeste was found. Great rivers of sand are swept out from the coastal deserts. When certain conditions prevail, this sand is concentrated by the ocean currents. Millions of tons are massed until an island is born, lives briefly, and then is swept away by a shift in the currents that created it. One such island formed under a small ship during World War II, held it for a number of hours, then released it, much in the same manner that Sam Newcomb's Providence acted. A like occurrence could have caused the abandonment of the Mary Celeste, but no one knows. According to some reports, Sam Newcomb's signed confession did drift ashore many years later. If that is true, perhaps another of the many mysteries surrounding the Mary Celeste has been solved. That mystery was a short length of line that reportedly was found secured to the stern of the ship, close up under the transom where someone would hide. Attached to this line was a man's leather belt that had parted in the middle. Could Sam Newcomb have hidden there when the salvage crew was put aboard to sail the ship to Gibraltar? Could he have hung suspended there against the weakening belt until it parted and let him sink silently into the sea?
Suspense, in which John Daner starred in tonight's presentation of The Mystery of the Mary Celeste. Next week, the story of a murder plan that was discovered and which led to a double execution. We call it The Eavesdropper. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's script was written by Gil Dowd. The music was composed by Lucien Morawek and Rene Garrigank and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Victor Perrin, Joseph Kearns, Paul Fries, Ben Wright, Joe Duvall, and Helen Klebe.
Have you heard any good Geiger counters lately? Better stick to the ones you own. The latest dodge of the lads on the lookout for easy money is to hold up a Geiger counter until any old used bricks make like solid uranium. Tomorrow night, our FBI in Peace and War tackles a slick confidence man with a rigged Geiger counter and a fistful of beautifully engraved uranium stock certificates. Be sure to meet the FBI in Peace and War on most of these same CBS radio stations tomorrow night. Stay tuned for 5 minutes of CBS News to be followed on most of these same stations by The Jack Carson Show. You hear America's favorite shows on the CBS Radio Network.